For a millennia, the tattoo of the bagpipe has called Scotland's heroes to defend her land and her honor. Now, a new challenge presents itself as a Germanic horde invades the Scottish Midlands. Frankfurt Galaxy and the Scottish Claymores clash in World Bowl 96 as a season's worth of emotion and sweat will rise to a crescendo and determine who will conquer the world. It's the NFL's biggest day in Europe. The parties began earlier today and will continue late into the evening, all taking place outside Muirfield. Now we are inside Muirfield in Edinburgh, Scotland. Fox TV Sports presents the championship game. The World League of American Football as Ernie Stautner's Frankfurt Galaxy will take on Jim Kreiner and the Scottish Claymores. Ernie Stautner, so much great success in the NFL. Defensive coordinator for the famed Doomsday defense of the Dallas Cowboys. And for the second year in a row, he takes his team into the World Bowl. Facing the former coach at Iowa State, head man Jim Kreiner. He's had success at the college level. This year, he is the World League of American Football Coach of the Year. Let's quickly go to the sideline and join former Kansas City Chief All-Pro defensive lineman Bill Moss. Bill? Scotland will be kicking off. And so the Frankfurt Galaxy and Steve Pallor will have it first. There you see Gavin Hastings. And deep back for the Galaxy, they've got speed merchant Mario Bailey, number 81. Gavin Hastings, a former captain of the national rugby squad here in Scotland. World Bowl 96, and we are underway. And they got Bailey back to the 8-yard line. He'll follow blockers as he takes it upfield. Moving beyond the 20, still on his feet to the 25. And picked up by Marcus Thomas, and this is a touchdown.
There's a flag down out there, I see.
Flag is down at the 22. And our refereeing crew, led by Walt Coleman, an NFL referee, will bring his group back into the end zone to discuss the play. What a way to begin World Bowl 96.
That's a touchdown. No flag. They're going to pick that thing up. Now, Scotland had been having problems in their special teams. Last week, they just got gashed on them. And so they went to work with them. And now you're going to see Mario Bailey finds his crack, and he just starts going. Now, at this point, you're running with your eyes. He sees something out to the left. George Coghill, 34, comes from behind, and as a good defensive back should do, slaps that thing loose. Marcus Thomas picks it up. It's 6 points.
Extra point is up and in.
You know, because of the limited size of rosters over here in this World League, most of all the defensive starters playing the special teams. At the beginning of the game like this, when they're fresh, that's great. They get a guy like your starting strong safety, George Coghill, comes down. I mean, that's something the defensive back does all the time. You come from behind, you slap that ball loose. Marcus Thomas picks it up, and it's a big play.
Coaches work on that all the time in practice.
Oh, yeah. You know, you never can trust those DBs. They're always walking up behind you and smacking the ball, so it worked in that case.
So Ernie Stautner's team is quickly down 7-0 as Scottish Claymores, who finished the first half of the season as the champion with a 4-1 record. got in automatically and secured the home berth. And then because of their second half of the season finish, Frankfurt got in, and they've won 2 consecutive games and have both the playoff intensity, and that's why they find themselves in their second consecutive World Bowl.
You know, it's funny, though, because the one thing that they didn't want to find themselves in is a situation of being behind early. Now, they don't run the football very well in this offense, and they want to try to give some balance, but if you get behind, you're going to have to throw to get in.
Gavin Hastings will kick off again, and Bailey will get it on the fly at the 3 and hold on to it as securely as he can. He's tripped up and taken down. The 20-yard line, Marcus Thomas had a grab, and Bailey, who's been a great receiver for quarterback Steve Pallure, will stay on the field. And there is Pallure, who has had a tremendous last couple weeks, probably right now the #1 rated quarterback in the World League.
Yeah, and he's playing like that. I mean, he's going out there with confidence. He's relaxed, and I think that's the key with Steve Pallure. When he can get out there, just relax, find himself, he's got a lot of big plays in him.
It'll be interesting to see how they react now and respond to what has been a unbelievable beginning. And on first down, he'll go right to work as Pallure locates his wide receiver, Jay Kearney. He's out by the 25 and close to a first down with a gain of 8. Banged out a play at the 28-yard line. Kearney is one of many weapons that Steve Pallure will be using today, as you see Marcus Thomas, who just recovered the fumble on the kickoff, returned it 24 yards for the touchdown. Seibert, the national from Germany, Wes Bender from USC, Bailey and Kearney, the wideouts, and the tight end is Big Ed Smith. Gain of 9 on the previous play. Second down and a yard to go. All defenses play a 43 in the World League, and that's what Pallure studies right now. In fact, he's changing the play with the play clock showing 0 too much time.
And that's one of the big problems in this World League. You know, and I think, you know, the people in states have to remember, in this league, they start the clock right away.
Still second down.
They don't wait, like in the National Football League, for guys to kind of get back close to the line of scrimmage. As soon as the play is done, boy, that baby starts rolling, and it's 35 seconds, and it's moving. And so Frankfurt's had a lot of problems with the clock.
Because you got the big play, you got to get those big bodies upfield.
Takes a lot of time to run up there, especially when you're George Hegeman at 350.
Second down, 5 to go with the penalty, and they swing it out on the wing, and it's caught by Bobby Phillips, the leading rusher, and he's knocked out of bounds short of the first down at the 28-yard line. Bobby Phillips runs outside. He's allocated by the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the line now. The tackles Collins and Hegeman from the Dallas Cowboys. Baptiste also from Dallas, along with Terrell Green at the right side, and the center is the veteran Toby Mills.
I'll tell you about the offensive line play over here in this World League. The one thing that really stood out to me is that the officials don't call holding very much. I mean, sometimes there are guys just dragged down from behind.
Third down and 2 for Steve Pallure at his own 28-yard line, and down 7-0 to begin the game. And Pallure throws, and he's got the first down pass to Ed Smith, tight end, out to the 35.
Well,
the defense in the 43, and on that front line, you'll see some big players, but it's a depleted line because of injuries. John DeWitt. Jeffcoat is the brother of Jim Jeffcoat, Joe O'Brien, and then David Webb on the right side. That is the 4 down linemen. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line, and the pitch out goes to Seibert. And he's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, loses a yard on the play, and he was brought down by linebacker Mark Sander, who's in that linebacking core with some pretty good ones. Arnold Ale played at UCLA. He's number 56, and at one time was with the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Shannon Jones, who made that play. I mean, the tackle wasn't made by Jones, but Shannon Jones came up and just lowered the boom on Wes Bender, the fullback. Turned everything back in and, of course, made the play. There's Shannon Jones. He's fired up early.
Play clock is at 5, and Steve Pallure calls timeout.
See, this is one of the problems. See, they've not been able to manage the clock well. In fact, that a number of times this year, it's been at the beginning of the second quarter, and they've used all their timeouts. And that's a problem they've not been able to work out.
Steve Pallure was talking with Brad Bretz, who's got the hat on, and he is out of Cal State Hayward. Pallure had gone in a 4-game slump with the team. No touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. They yanked him. Put in the young kid, Brad Bretz, who had been in the Dallas and Washington camps. Bretz goes down with the bad knee. Pallure gets redemption, comes back in, and he's been on fire the last couple weeks.
He really has. You know, it's funny when you talk to the players and the coaches, what's been the biggest difference? It's simple. His mother-in-law and his wife went home. He can finally play football again.
And he's expecting a baby in a couple weeks.
And I think that's on his mind. He has a little one coming his first, and he's really excited about it. I'm sure his wife and his mother-in-law will be very happy to hear that. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. Now, this is a training camp atmosphere, too. These players don't live in homes. They live in a hotel all season long. Second down in the yard. They lost one on that first down play. Second down and 11 yards to go. And across the middle as he was looking for wide receiver Jay Kearney, who played at West Virginia, number 15, had a brief stint with the Kansas City Chiefs and was let go.
Kearney is the one player who they think has really big play, down in and down out ability. I mean, they think that Mario Bailey is the guy who can make a big play every now and then, but Jay Kearney is the player who can move the chains for him, plus still come up with a big play. A lot of guys in this league feel like he could make it in the National Football League. Not with plays like that.
On 3rd and 11, Pallure throws, and it's going for Mike Bellamy, and it's an incomplete pass, but the penalty flag gives him a first down near the 50.
Speaking to Scotland's defensive coordinator, Ray Wilsey, the former Raider, he told me if they could get to 3rd down, that would be the key to their game. Now, here's a 3rd down that comes up big, and of course, they get the interference. This will give them a first down.
Defense, number 34, first down.
George Coghill being remarkably keen for the Titans in pass interference.
There's George Coghill. He's shown some interest from the Raiders, and he has been one of the harder hitting players in any secondary in the World League. He lines up now to defend a 1st and 10 from midfield for Frankfurt. 7-0, Scotland on top as they return the opening kickoff on a fumble, 24 yards for a touchdown, and Seibert up the middle. In goes Seibert down to the 42, and a gain of 8 on first down.
You know, the funny thing, when I'm watching this Frankfurt team, the one guy that stands out and reminds me very much of San Francisco's Billy Ring is Ingo Seibert. Now, he's a national player. He's a German native, but he's got that Bill Ring kind of thing of making a play. I mean, you can always count on him. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. He'll block for you. He's not the shiftiest guy, but he'll grunt his way for 8 or 9 yards.
Clean deep right there. Here's Phillips trying to get the first down, and he stopped short. He had to get down to the 40, and he stopped inside the 41-yard line. Nice play by linebacker Mark Sander as you get a good look at the great Ernie Stautner. And there's Arnold Alley, number 56, who was also in on the tackle.
Look at this Scotland defense, and the one thing that really stands out, because in the beginning of the season they were playing very well, but their defensive line was led by Ty Parton, really took over. Now the linebackers, LA, Sander right there, see Shannon Jones, they've really stepped it up, and they've become the heart of this defense along with their secondary.
Short of the first down by the nose of the football, so they'll mark it. Just that much to go for a first down. We spent a lot of time with Ernie Stautner over the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's a football guy. Anytime you can get with an old coach who's done the things that he's done, Pittsburgh Steelers, Hall of Famer, you know, been with the Cowboys, went to Super Bowls, he's done it all. That's a lot of fun.
Steve Pallure, who started the game 3 of 4 through the air. Third down, the length of the football to go for a first down for Frankfurt. Down 7-0. We're in the first quarter from Edinburgh. About a 4-hour train ride north of London. And you see Pallure on the quarterback keeper. Take it near the first down at the 40-yard line.
You know, this is one of those situations where Mad would say you're at the mercy of the referee's foot. If he stops with his left, you don't get it. If he stops with his right, he gets it. He must have stopped with his right foot.
And he got it.
And he got it.
Pallure's led a nice drive downfield. Began about the 20-yard line, and now he's at the 40-yard line of Scotland with the first down. And play action on first down with the rush from the blind side. Hit as he throws and throws to Gary Hill. Who got the first down to gain at 19 to the 21.
Nice play action. You know, what you're getting right now out of Frankfurt is what Steve Pallor can give you in this league, and hopefully what he hopes is in the National Football League. See, what he does is he can settle people down and go back and rely on the experience. You're down 7-0, come out and take what that defense is giving you. See, he sets his feet, he looks the defense over, pulls the safety over with the look, hits the out in front of the corner.
Gary Harrell from the New York Giants. First down, 10 yards to go from the 21. Handoff. And they give it to Wes Bender. And Bender picks up about 5 yards to the 16, so they follow an 18-yard gain with the gain of 5 on a running play to Wes Bender.
But I think what's catching me off guard, at least, in this Frankfurt offense has been their running the football. Now, they have not been able to run at all. And I think now you get back here, you get Bobby Phillips in, you start pounding the football, you get behind some of those Dallas Cowboy allocated players, Michael Batiste, 68, and 95 Hegley, you're starting to pick up some yardage.
Frankfurt is in the white, orange, and purple, and here comes the blitz, and they go the end around to Kearney, and a block from Pallor will open him up. He's got to get inside the 10, and he does. Inside the 5, and a touchdown.
Tell you who made that whole play was Pallor.
Great block.
He did the perfect thing. I mean, the defensive end got out there, contained the thing. Pallor had to get him to the ground. He got his job done, and Kearney did the rest with his leg.
That's a lot to ask in this league for a 34-year-old quarterback who's trying to get a comeback in the NFL.
That's a lot to ask for anybody over 30 to go block a big old hog lineman. That was a good drive.
11 plays. Capping it, a 16-yard end around to Jay Kearney from West Virginia. Number 9 is Ralph Kleinman.
That would be Herr Kleinman.
Herr Kleinman from the Cologne Crocodiles, an amateur team in Germany. Trying to tie the game at 7, which he does. We're tied at 7 apiece, 8:33 remaining in the first quarter. So Steve Pallor on the end around to Jay Kearney. They get by Scotland. They tie it up at 7 apiece. With Matt Millen and Bill Moss, Kevin Harlan, first quarter. We're tied at 7. Ernie Stautner's team with a nice looking 11-play, 6-minute drive.
And the big thing there is they're running the football. If they can run the football effectively, they'll continue to move the ball all game long.
There's the defense, which has been ranked number 1 most of the season, now down to number 4. And Marcus Thomas, who recovered the fumble on the opening kickoff and returned it 24 yards for the touchdown, will be deep back as Ralph Kleinman will kick off from the 30. We're in the second quarter, and we're tied at 7. And Marcus Thomas into the sun from the 5-yard line. The end around to Yo Murphy, and Murphy to the 20-yard line.
Got to set that thing up. You know, the reason the reverse worked to Jay Kearney is because you set it up with run. You're going to take Phillips, you're going to run him this way. Watch the defense. Everybody starts to flow, and now you come back the other way. Once you get everybody flowing one way, that's when the reverses are effective. You see, nobody's over there, and then right there, David Webb, Steve Pallor takes him down. Heck, Collins is over there with a sign saying run this way. But it was because it was set up.
It is. So the first time we take a look at the Scottish Claymores offense, first down and 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. And number 13 is Jim Ballard, who on 1st and 10 gets out of that pocket and throws to the near side. Pass caught by the Kansas City Chiefs allocated player, Willie Tate out of Oregon. He stretches for a first down and a gain of 11 on first down for quarterback Jim Ballard, who played at Division III Mount Union in Ohio.
I like this kid. I think this kid got a lot of courage. The Cowardly Lion would love him. Why is a muskrat guard as much courage? Ballard's got it. See, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that a Division III player can make it. And I'm watching this kid. He's got the size. He's got arm strength. He's got that awareness. He's got a little bit of cockiness. I think he's got a chance.
And he's got a good arm, as we saw.
He really does.
Going against the grain from the 31. The pitch out to Ciaran Stacy, former Alabama player. Gene Stallings, and he is out to the 34 and picks up 3 on first down. Initially brought down by Tom Cavallo, who played at Louisville, number 53. Ballard took the play of Kansas City Chiefs allocated quarterback Steve Matthews, and Ballard has come in, and over the last 10 quarters, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So in this game, we really have 2 of the hottest quarterbacks in the league right now.
I think Ballard's made a difference with his offense. I think it's run better with him at quarterback.
Quick throw, quick drop, nice catch. Sean LaChapelle out of UCLA, and he spins his way for a first down to the 45. Sean LaChapelle broke the record this year for receiving yards in a season for over 1,000, and you think he can play in the league?
Yeah, I think he's got a chance. I think he's got good hands. He runs great routes. He's a smart player. He doesn't have great breakaway speed, but he gets in and out of his routes so fast, and it makes the difference.
We're tied at 7 here late in the first quarter of play. LaChapelle comes in motion, handoff again, up the middle they go, and Siran Stacy.
Yeah, I think right now what you've seen out of this Scotland offense is exactly what you should see. Using the players that's gotten them there. You know, you got Ballard to come out and has a strong arm. Then you go to Siran Stacy, who's led the league 2 years, is a good football player. Throw the ball to LaChapelle. You got inside, you got the tight end, you got Willie Tate, boom, ball outside. So they move the ball around, but the main guys, Siran Stacy, LaChapelle, Ballard.
Stacy is a legend in this league. All-time leader in rushing yards and all-purpose yards, now 28 years old. Second down, nice fake, a little pass by Ballard, who's overshooting. Stacy on the near side, incomplete. It'll be third down.
I tell you, Siran Stacy is a player that was in the National Football League, second-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles, out of Alabama, and you know, he got there and he just didn't quite fit. It just didn't quite make it, and he came over here and he really matured. The problem is he matured and he's 28 years old. He's a good football player. If he was 24, he'd get a shot back in the league, but I think because of his age, he won't.
Began in Philadelphia back in '92. There's a third down now for quarterback Jim Ballard, who is hit and brought down, a sack on the play, and a fumble on the play back at the 41, which is recovered by Scotland. The sack was by 90, Don Reynolds out of the University of Virginia, and that's his 5th sack of the season, and Ballard is forced to eat it, and the defense of Frankfurt forces the punt.
Yeah, and Reynolds should turn around and kiss his defensive back because that was a coverage sack. Ballard had who he wanted, looked downfield, coverage was there, couldn't go with it. Reynolds gets a sack.
Punt now coming from Paul McCallum as a flag is thrown. It's a high hanging punt as Gary Harrell, the Giant player, on the 25, scooting up the middle and almost broke the after the 38-yard line. We'd like to apologize to our audience. We're having some audio and technical problems here in Scotland, which is now evening time. It is 6:33 in the evening. But we are working to rectify those. So nonetheless, the pictures of this World Bowl '96. Penalty was on Frankfurt. As you get a good look at Steve Pallure, began with the Dallas Cowboys in 1984, and Bernie Stautner was happy to see a rebirth of him.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Ordinarily, you'd want to kick this thing again because this field position is too good for Frankfurt. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. And the reason
Offside, defense, number 39, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
Now, if you listen to that official, he's not from Scotland. That's just a hunch. Yeah. The reason I said it because Scotland has been having a lot of problems in special teams coverage. And in fact, they've been getting hammered on them. They felt that that was going to be one of their keys, was how well they covered Harrell in the return game.
There's Gary Harrell and Paul McCallum, who played in the CFL for many years, is set to punt it away again and gets off a boomer. High floating punt, which Harrell will field at the 19 with the fair catch, and he's to the 20-yard line.
That's big. He picked up 20 yards of field position there, so that's a good call.
So we're tied at 7. We'll be back at the World Bowl here in Edinburgh, Scotland, after these messages from your local station. With Matt Millen, Kevin Harlan, Edinburgh, Scotland. The World Bowl '96 as the world watches Scotland and Frankfurt. So far, 7 apiece. We're late in the first quarter. All over the world, people watching this game. Global interest in American football is at an unprecedented level. Action seen in 171 countries today and throughout the season. And on first down, the national player from Germany, Ingo Seibert, bangs over the right side and takes it near the 27-yard line for a good pickup of 7 on first down.
I told you, I like that Seibert. He reminds me of Billy Ring from San Francisco a few years back.
Who can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, he catches the ball well. He'll block for you. He'll pick up, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards when he has the shot. And he's smart. He'll run behind big George Hegman, allocated from the Cowboys.
We're with a second down, 2 to go from his own 28. He'll go to the air on second down in short yardage, and he throws to his receiver, Mike Bellamy, incomplete. Threw it back in the coverage by linebacker Emmett Waldron.
With the ball for free.
This is the play on, and watch George Hegman to the right side of the screen, 95. Now he's going to give the time for Pelor to find this thing. This ball should be caught. That's the second drop ball he's had today. Pelor's had dropped on him. But he's getting the time from that offensive line.
I was just going to say, he's got time to look, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Third down and 2. Pelor from the shotgun, normally under center, and is brought down and gets away. Has to get to the 30 for a first down and slides head first to the 31 and gets it.
Yeah, Joe O'Brien had him. O'Brien gets the corner, just gets to his feet, but this is what Pelor used to do. Watch number 90. He's working on Hegman. This time he beats Hegman to the top side, and this is what Pelor used to do so well with the Cowboys and the Chiefs. When he got in trouble, he could get out of it with his feet.
First down and 10 is former Cowboy and Chiefs quarterback Steve Pelor, and also a stint with the Denver Broncos. On first and 10, throws to the near side. And the catch was made by Tony Harrison out of Texas A&M. Another first down and a pickup of 12 through the air.
And again, good time to throw the football, and that's the whole key. And you're going to give Pelor the time, he's going to eat you alive. And then even when you don't give him the time, heck, he beats you with his feet. They were afraid, I'm talking about Scotland now, they were afraid that if he got time, and then coupled with the running game, they thought they could take the running game away. But if he got time, he'd eat him up.
43, first and 10. They show blitz, and here they come with linebackers, and Seibert will get a block from number 20, Wes Bender, and bang his way over the left side near midfield. Bender's probably recognized as the best blocking back in the league.
But I'm going to tell you who made the best block on that play. Bender got his kick out, but the guy who made that play, Jay Kearney, number 15. Now, Kearney comes in a Z short motion. They're going to run the crack. He's looking for the first guy to show. You can see him at the top of your screen. Bender kicks out, and then Seibert will just run up inside. Kearney takes away the force in George Coghill, the safety, 34.
There's Kearney hoping to hang on to an NFL spot this summer. 200-pound wide receiver. Second down and about 4. Seibert again. This time they send him up the middle, found the blocking of the guards, Tyrrell and Teast. Seibert, by the way, for Coach Ernie Stautner, led all national players this year with 4 touchdowns, rushing yards, and receiving. He did a lot of stuff, but there's that big Hageman you're talking about, 95.
Yeah, and there's a guy the Dallas Cowboys allocated. They have him outside attack. Now, he's gotten better in a couple areas, but where he still needs to work is he gets a little lazy with his feet. Personally, watching him, I would move him in at guard. And they keep him that big, square, 355-pound body moving people.
Seibert for the first down to the 45. Well, he weighs, speaking of Hageman, number 95, he weighs 350 pounds, so we know he can eat, but can he block?
Well, here's the thing. He doesn't always get the great push inside. I think the funny thing with Hageman, when I saw him at the beginning of the season, William the Refrigerator Perry was over here, and they listed his weight at 350-ish. And he and George Hageman were talking, and Fridge says to him, "What do you weigh?" He says 350. Fridge says, "I'm going to have to change my story."
First down and 10. Another sweep with the Bender block, and this time the defense of the Scottish Claymores allows just a gain of about 2 on the play. As you see some of the sights of this World Bowl, it is just absolutely embraced this beautiful community of Edinburgh, Scotland. Arnold L.A., number 56, who had so many great years at UCLA before breaking his leg. And a couple teams have taken a chance on L.A., Kansas City namely. New England in 93. Second down and 9. Pelor, and he's going deep, and he sees the New York Giant Harrell, and it's incomplete. Out of bounds it goes. He was stride for stride with Forey Duckett out of Nevada Reno.
Now, this is the down that Ray Wilson, the defensive coordinator for Scotland, wanted to get him. They wanted to get him to 3rd and long. What he wanted to do was start taking different things away from Pelor. He wanted to show him what he thought he would get and then play something else. He felt if they could win 3rd down, they had a chance to win the football game.
You played for Ray Wilson.
Ray Wilson is the only guy in the world to have a Grey Cup ring, Super Bowl ring, and a World Bowl ring.
That's the end of the first quarter as we break away after 1 from Edinburgh, Scotland. Tied at 7, the Claymores and the Galaxy. With Matt Millen, Kevin Harlan, Muirfield in Edinburgh, Scotland. Beautiful night. Approaching the hour is 7 o'clock here in Scotland. And you see, they don't have regular cheerleaders here, Matt. They got
guys wearing skirts.
What about that?
I got to get one of them for Matt, and I got to see him in a skirt.
Well, you look. I saw yours. Yours looks good.
Mine looks really
very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We begin the second quarter with a tie game at 7 apiece. World Bowl 96, the World Bowl, the World League, a joint venture with Fox Sports and the National Football League. And Steve Pelor, 3rd and 9, gets it outside, and Arnold Ale, number 56, read it well and knocks it down. They got a punt.
Okay, that's exactly what they wanted to do. They showed him one thing, gave him another. That time they faked the blitz inside. They went man everywhere else. And then when Pelor looked downfield and saw man, what he wanted to do was dump this thing off. Now watch LA right there. She's going to fake inside, and then Pelor looks downfield, dumps it outside, boom, play is made. That's a big 3rd down.
Fury with the punt and retrieved at the 1-yard line by Marcus Thomas. Sure, you let it go into the end zone.
That is El Stupido, because this is the World League.
We're not in Barcelona.
Well, I got to tell you, you set your feet on the 10-yard line, you let it go over your head. You don't field it on the 1-yard line.
45-yard punt, and so now it's Scotland with their backs against the wall. We're tied at 7. We're back at the World Bowl after these messages from your local stations. With Matt Millen, Kevin Harlan, the 3rd member of our crew is on the sideline, the All-Pro from the Kansas City Chiefs, Bill Moss. Bill, good evening.
Hey, Kevin, glad to join you guys finally. You know, 2 things I find interesting down here is, 1, yesterday James Fuller told us that special teams is going to be the key for Scotland. And ironically, in the first 11 seconds, they scored a touchdown off it. And 2, Frankfurt Galaxy has run the ball more in the first quarter than they have in the last 3 ball games. I'm very impressed with what they're doing. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, Bill, you should be impressed. You know, and I think where that translates, Frankfurt's held the ball in the first quarter for over 11 minutes. And they have not been able to do that.
So Scotland begins at their 1, 1st down and 10. And Ciaran Stacey from Alabama up to the 5. And he picks up a couple yards right there. Scotland only held the ball for 3 minutes and 47 seconds in that first quarter.
Well, and the biggest difference, you know, that Bill told that they're running the football. Ciaran Stacey can run the football, and they will. Before this game is done, he's going to run the ball effectively.
Scotland kicked off. Frankfurt fumbled the opening kickoff. It was returned by Scotland, 24 yards for a touchdown. They were quickly up 7-0. Then Pelor led a well-orchestrated 6-minute drive and tied the game at 7 with an end around. Ballard in the end zone. It throws it away. No one was open. In a wise move, it'll be 3rd down.
I'll tell you what Frankfurt's doing very well. They know who can hurt them. And what they're doing is they're taking LaChapelle and they're doubling him, and then they're manning up Ciaran Stacey wherever he is.
So closing out those strengths that you talked about back in the first
Absolutely.
quarter.
You have your big 3 guys who make plays. Now, it's going to fall on the shoulders of Ballard. If they're going to go back to throw, he's going to have to spread it around to the other receivers.
That could mean Yo Murphy, who had a good game last week in Spain. Murphy, one of the top receivers in the league. He's out of the University of Idaho. 3rd down and long. They've got to get to the 12, and the pass is overthrown. Incomplete.
Looks like he got hurt. That's LaChapelle
at the 23.
Yeah, it looked like in the middle of his route, he pulled up. Maybe, I don't know what. It looks like he pulled muscle or something, groin or hammy or something. He was running his route, and all of a sudden he just kind of stumbled and fumbled, and that was it.
Let's look at it and see if we can pick it up.
Well, the first thing you'll see is Ballard has the time, and that's a key. See right there, you see how he was running and he just kind of stumbled?
UCLA's all-time wide receiver, Sean LaChapelle.
That's a groin.
Injury timeout. Sean LaChapelle has walked off the field. They tell us it's an ankle, and he's in the locker room right now getting a look at that.
That is good news. And if you got an ankle, you can doctor an ankle. If you do a groin, you can't doctor a groin. You're gone with a groin.
Gary Harrell is deep back for the Galaxy as Scotland in the blue with the gray pants will kick off, and McCallum with his second consecutive punt. Harrell's going to give him great field position inside the 35, inside the 30. And that's where Steve Pallur and the Frankfurt Galaxy will begin it. A punt of 34 yards with the return of 10 by Gary Harrell from the New York Giants.
I like Gary Harrell. And he's one of those guys that I watched on tape, and I thought and still feel that he's got a shot in the National Football League.
Well, the World League and the NFL closely aligned, but there are some changes. For instance, you get 4 points for a kick, a field goal over 50 yards or more. 1 foot is only required from the receiver to make a completed catch. You can get a 2-point deuce, as they call it here, on all extra point attempts, and there is a 35-second play clock which does not stop, as it does in the NFL, to reset the ball. Then they start the clock. And Pallur on 1st and 10, a little bit wide, a little bit low, and incomplete.
And I still haven't figured out why they spell defense with a C over here. I don't get it.
There are a lot of things over here you don't get. I've spent the last week with you. I understand you say that.
Including a good steak.
Yes.
You know, that's the one thing over here. Like they talk about that mad cow. I figured out what they've done. See, nobody has the English speak. You go to Scotland, they say it's from the Netherlands. You go to the Netherlands, they say it's from Spain. You go to Spain, they don't even have it.
So you don't have no beef with the beef.
That's exactly it.
2nd down and 10. Here's Pallur. And going back to his receiver, and it's dropped at the 2. And in the sights down the way, Mario Bailey out of the University of Washington.
Now that's that pattern. You know, I saw him working on it and practice and talk to the coaches about it. And that's that fade stop. Well, it doesn't quite look like what the Dallas Cowboys run. But watch Mario Bailey. He's going to be working on Corey Duckett. Get behind. Now, you're using the sideline as your help. Now, the ball is thrown behind. And what you're counting on is for the defender to take that extra step up the field. Then the receiver comes back and makes the play.
Pretty good 3rd down team. 3rd and 10 for Pallur, who gets the block.
Oh, he got
whacked
drilled
as he throws, and it's a fluttering pass by Harrell, and he's down to the 1.
David Wilson would like to bite his hands off.
Gary Harrell caught a ball that was floating down the middle and out-dueled everybody else. Picks up 29. It's 1st down and goal to go Frankfurt.
It looked like Jeffcoat 99 put a shot on Pallur, and the ball fluttered. And then as the ball was hanging up there, the defender, David Wilson, 25, clearly had a shot at the ball and went up. And you know what he did? He mistimed his jump. He tried to catch that ball at the highest point. He did not get that done. Harrell makes the big play.
So 1st and goal from the 1, and Phillips, who is the allocated player from the Minnesota Vikings, hurdles no place and loses about a yard with a nice stop by number 90, Joe O'Brien.
Yeah, that Joe O'Brien, you know, that guy cracks me up. Every time I see him, his whole world revolves around the Raiders.
And you.
He loves the Raiders. That guy, Joe O'Brien, all he talks about is, you know, John Madden's Raiders and Tom Flory's Raiders, and tell me about how and what was Jim Plunkett like. And his whole world is the Raiders.
2nd and goal. Phillips again got a block, and then the defense came through, and Mark Sander out of Louisville, number 54, made a big hit. He played for Howard Schnellenberger at Louisville, and that time he throws him for about a loss of a half yard.
You know, you always judge the toughness of your defense in short yardage and goal line. You get good short yardage and goal line defense, good tough stuff, you're going to have yourselves a good tough defense.
Which you enjoy.
And this is it. This is big right here. I mean, 3rd, you lay it on the line. Don't be surprised to see Pallur use his feet to get himself out of trouble here.
The 1 is Harrell, and he's got 4 receivers deployed, and into the end zone, the pass is caught for the touchdown, brought down by Mario Bailey, number 81 from the University of Washington.
And they're going to get Bellamy, 84, I believe, for taunting.
A flag was thrown after the catch, and Bellamy was there. And Bellamy has taken some pretty good hits himself already today. And it is against Frankfurt. But the touchdown stays.
Touchdown stays. They'll move this thing back and it'll become a field goal instead of an extra point. Hey, that was good football. See what they did?
Penalize that 15 yards on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Bailey, by the one, number 81, who just caught that touchdown pass, also is the one who fumbled the opening kickoff, which Scotland returned 24 yards for the touchdown. So he comes back and strikes. 10:21 remaining here in the second quarter as Ralph Kleinman will try the extra point. There's a flag thrown, and they'll stop it right there.
Frankfurt with Pelor, they motioned away. They left Bailey one-on-one with James Williams, and they just rolled the dice. You just throw the ball up. It's either an incompletion or it's a touchdown. You can do that when you know you're going to have man coverage. You can take your shot.
There's Mario Bailey. Kleinman splits them 14-7. Frankfurt's won 2 consecutive games. They've had to stay alive, and they're in the World Bowl for a second consecutive year. Mario Bailey comes up with a 2-yard touchdown catch and puts his Galaxy on top by 7.
Yes, that would be, you have an all 22, that wide angle to the guy. And then the other thing, Kenny, would be to come back to that, because the guy who makes that play right there.
Frankfurt on top 14-7 with Matt Millen and Bill Moss, Kevin Harlan, Edinburgh, Scotland, where it is just now 7 o'clock and stays light here till about midnight. We're so far north. A penalty on the kick, and it pushes it back now. Rather on the touchdown, pushes it back to the 15-yard line. They assist it with the taunting of one of the Frankfurt wide receivers. And the kick picked up. And Marcus Thomas from the 25 fakes the end around to Murphy, and Thomas running outside. He's to the 43 and then belted there. Mark Byers, number 58, got it. He played at UNLV. Let's take a look another time at that touchdown.
Pelor knows he has man coverage. So what he does is he sends everybody away, and he leaves Mario Bailey all by himself. You're going to watch the motion comes across. You see the defender. Now what that does is it leaves this whole half of the field free. And Mario Bailey is working on James Williams. Watch the difference in the play. Good defense here by Williams. Look when the receiver looks. Did you see how Bailey got his body between the defender and the ball? That was the difference in the play. That's good football.
Another possession for Scotland, the first half of the season champs, and on the 43-yard line. They begin at first down and 10 yards to go. Siran Stacy brings it up the middle. He's had 5 100-yard games this year, but that is only the 9th play in the first half run by the Scottish offense so far.
Well, and that speaks volumes of the Galaxy's their offensive line and their ability to control the football with the running game. That's been the biggest difference.
And earlier, we had not seen a lot of running by any of these teams in the regular year. Second down, 8 to go from the 45. The pitch out. Stacy again got a block and moves on a fumble on the play, and it's recovered by
Cavallo.
Cavallo has the ball, and he may have fumbled it at the 45. There goes a flag.
They may, well, I shouldn't guess. Siran Stacy is going to be guilty of the fumble because of his extra effort. And then the ball pops out. Tom Cavallo, 53, picks the thing up, and then he laterals it maybe forward.
Penalty is against Frankfurt and their defense. 65 again is Walt Coleman, an NFL referee. A lot of the referees, like the players, trying to make a good showing here so that they can move up the ladder and seniority for the first opening in the league.
Well, remember, there's also a national referee as well. And there's
illegal forward pass during the return of the interception. Number 53, be a 5-yard penalty and a first down.
I think he was listening to me. They got Tom Cavallo, and he tried to throw it to Kerr, defensive end, number 66.
So
the Scottish Claymores on 3 offensive possessions today: punt, and fumble. Frankfurt, this is their 4th possession right now. On the previous 3, 2 touchdown passes and a punt. So Frankfurt will try to capitalize. They've got the ball at the 48-yard line. And Steve Fuller will go over to the sideline as a timeout has been taken by the defense from Scotland. (14-7), Steve Fuller and the Frankfurt Galaxy leading in World Bowl 96. With Matt Millen and Bill Moss, Kevin Harlan, as you see some of the 36,000 that have gotten seats for this World Bowl 96. Attendance league-wide is up over 20% this year, so this definitely is a success story with the European interest in the National Football League. First down and 10. A fumble is given. Frankfurt the ball back. They lead it by 7. And the pitch out to Seibert with the block.
Oh, nice job, Shannon Jones. Did you see that play? I mean, that's the way you play defense.
Shannon Jones out of USC, number 58.
The second time that they've tried that play, and the second time that Shannon Jones has lowered the boom. He reads this thing perfectly. Here comes the fullback. It just becomes mano a mano. Watch number 20, Wes Bender. And what's going to happen? Shannon Jones is going to drill him, take him right into Seibert. Look at that. That's beautiful football. You don't get any better than that. You draw it up like that, you blow it up, and then you make the play.
Two USC guys going at it head-to-head. Second down and 11, and Fuller going deep, and he's got a receiver.
Second play that Wilson should have made.
David Wilson almost picked it off, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long.
That's the second play. Remember, earlier, Harrell makes the big play down on the goal line. Wilson has it in his hands, misjumps, and it turns it eventually into a touchdown. This one has a pick all over it. He took his head off that thing before he took off and ran.
Frankfurt with the ball in the white with the purple and orange, leading by 7. And you see some of their fans, over 3,000 from Frankfurt. Lure from the gun, 3rd down and 11. In chase.
Good coverage.
Throws it away, smartly throws it away. They got all kinds of pressure up the middle, and number 70 is Jason Buck, the former Redskin, former Cincinnati Bengal, who came up and was leading the charge for Scotland.
Well, what the key there was on Fuller was the coverage downfield. I mean, here's big Jason Buck. Has a 650-acre farm in Utah. Got a call the other day. Said, why don't you come over here and play some football? He thought it was one of his ranch hands. Hung up on him.
Kevin Fury to punt. And this is inside the 10 and alive inside the 5 and down at the 3. Down by Tony Harrison, number 2. It was touched, though, by a Frankfurt player at about the 11. So that's where they'll start it. They began last time at their 1-yard line. Now they begin at their 11-yard line. A number of NFL representatives here today. NFL President Neil Austrian and his wife Nancy are here. Steeler President Dan Rooney, his wife Pat have come here. Carl Peterson, the President and General Manager of the Kansas City Chiefs, is here. John Beek, the GM from the Broncos, he is here. World Bowl 96. Jim Ballard gets it again. 1st down and 10. They need to put together a good-looking drive, and it begins on 1st and 10 with the pitch out to Stacy, and he has no room to run and no room to hide on the wing. Offensive linemen seem to be very interesting. They have more allocated players, it seems, on the offensive line than any other position.
Well, when I look at this league, the two areas that have really stood out have been the defensive backs and the offensive linemen. It seems to be a league to develop the offensive linemen.
Because of the reps.
Yeah, you just get more reps. You just get out there and do it.
2nd down and 7. Scott Cooper was 81 in motion, and the pass is caught. Tight end, Willie Timm, 2nd catch today. 1st down, and he's to the 30-yard line.
You mentioned Scott Cooper, and the reason he's out there playing now, this is a national down. Every other down, you have to have at least one national player out there. And this is one of those sets of downs offensively. Watch the offensive line protection. Purvis Hunt, 79, working right there, and Keith Wagner allocated from the Redskins. And then Tate, the Kansas City Chief, just beats the coverage of Cecil Doggett. First down.
At the 29. And Ballard throws. Joe Murphy the catch, and he's grabbed by Tom Cavallo.
What you're getting out of this Scotland offense is patience. And I think that, that's the big difference with this offense with Jim Ballard. He's a patient guy, but he'll look and take what he gives him.
Bill Moss, what do you have?
Guys, the story is on Sean LaChapelle. It's a twin injury. He has rolled his ankle, the same ankle last week in Barcelona, and a pulled groin. Doesn't look like he's going to be back for the second half. That's it from down here.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. You're right. You can doctor an ankle, but you can forget about a groin. That just needs time.
Third down, Stacy. Grabbed again by Cavallo, the leading tackler on this defense. Cavallo played at Louisville, 6'2", 240 pounds. And he's trying to make a name for himself so that someone will pick him up this summer in camp.
There's a kid this league is about. There's Tom Cavallo. Now, the kid's a good tackler. He'll come up and whack it. He's an average reader. He needs to get better at reading. But what kills him is he can't flat out run. The National Football League now, and defensively, you have to be able to run and cover. And that's what's holding Tom Cavallo back.
Third down and a yard to go. They've got to get just near the 40. Ballard dumps it off. Stacy's got the catch, and he's got the first down, and he's to the 45.
I like Jim Ballard. I think he shows you something every week. Now there, he's showing more of that patience we're talking about. He's not so impatient that he's going to wait and try to force it. That time he looked outside, pumped, didn't like what he saw, pulled it back down, boom, just hit it underneath, get the first down. I think this guy should be in a camp someplace because he showed me more than a lot of the teams that I've seen.
Well, he was in Cincinnati last year, and he thinks he may go back to Cincinnati's camp this summer. First down and 10 from the 45. And a juggled handoff, and Stacy made what appeared to be about a 2-yard gain into a 5-yard gain as he crosses midfield.
It's funny about Ballard when you talk to the coaches about him. They said, at the beginning of the season in training camp, he really played well. In fact, they thought he played well enough to earn the spot. And then they came out of training camp, and then what happened, Steve Matthews took over and started. And then Ballard was just driving himself crazy. And then all of a sudden, in the middle, in May, he went and got married. He came back and said he's a different guy.
He went back to the States and then came back.
Yeah, he came back, got married, and he's a different guy. And they said it really agrees with him.
More mature, much
settled down.
Yeah.
You know what happened? He went home and Mama said, look, you get back there and you play and don't you whine, and I don't want to hear about it.
Kind of what our mamas told us.
Same thing. And here we are in Scotland line.
Aye! We've been working on our accents, haven't we?
Every time we do, the Scots who are around us roll their eyes.
Gain of 2 by Siran Stacy. It'll be third down and about 4. 14-7. Frankfurt with the lead.
This is a big third down right here. 3.5 minutes to go. You're on the other side of the 50. You pick this up, you have a chance of tying this thing up.
Ballard out of that pocket and being chased and throws, and he almost throws it away. Almost picked off on the side by Chris Hall out of East Carolina. It's incomplete, and they got to punt again.
That one, he never saw Chris Hall. Hall just hung, and Ballard squares his shoulders, and as he's thrown, see, he expected Hall to continue to go. The ball was to Scotty Cooper. Hall had a perfect pick and dropped it.
4 offensive possessions, 3 punts and a fumble. And here comes McCallum again out of the Canadian Football League, and Harrell will let it go inside the 10, wisely letting it go, but as you can see, it's down at the 9. The rule is anything inside the 10 you let go in.
Yeah, you set your feet on the 10-yard line. Gary Harrell did it perfect right there. You set your feet on the 10-yard line. That ball goes over your head, you leave it alone. If it comes to you, it's close, you pick it and take your shot.
There's a whole new meaning to digging your heels in.
Absolutely.
There's Ernie Stutner. I think they're talking with Les Miller, the man there on the left of your screen who was at Kansas City and rumored to be going to Philadelphia to join that crew and player personnel, but he runs the football side of the World League.
I'll tell you, the one thing that the states can learn from the Europe and WLAF is this crowd knows how to have a good time.
They do. The parties begin hours outside, much like our tailgate parties in the States. First and 10, Claymores brought down at the 1-yard line with the big sack. Recorded by Brian Kobe, the allocated player from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Again, you have to go back and thank your DBs because this is a coverage sack. Fuller had no place to throw this ball. Every place he wanted to look was gone. I want you to watch the coverage. Receiver here, and up top. And as this thing develops, Fuller will drop back and look, and there will be a perfect blanket back here. Nowhere to throw the football. Get your zone drops, get your push underneath. Nothing there. Kobe comes up, big sack.
And up the middle. Getting that quarterback's face. Second down and a ton, and they get it out to the 5-yard line with a quick run.
Tell you what you've seen.
Bobby Phillips carried it, number 30.
Out of this Scotland defense has been some adjustments by Ray Wilsey, their defensive coordinator. And they came out and they were running the football on them. They were gouging them, controlling the ball. And then, of course, that opened up the pass game. Now they've tightened up their pass coverage. And they've taken away and tightened up their run defense up front. It's made a world of difference. That's nice adjustments by Wilson. What he's done, he's walked the safety up a couple times, taken some chances in the running game as you get the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning in the World Bowl. Two-minute warning, Frankfurt on top by 7, late first half. Let's go back down to Bill Moss, who's with Carl Peterson, the president and general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, thanks, guys. That's right. I'm here with the president of Kansas City Chiefs, Carl Peterson. And Carl, you hate to see Sean Lapel go down after such a great year he's had.
Well, this is true. He's a fine player. He's had a great season, but I think he's got a great shot to make our football team in 1996.
Carl, and you got a few more guys on the members of the Claymores as well.
We do. We've got 5 guys here, and we've got 3 others throughout the league. We really believe, Bill, in the World League. You know, we've got 7 guys on our current Kansas City Chiefs team that played in the World Bowl, in the World League.
All right, great. Good luck this year, Carl.
Okay,
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Back up to you guys upstairs.
Third down. And they've got to get to the 19. Blue with a little play action, and he looks down the side, and he's got the receiver.
He had it.
And it's incomplete downfield for Mario Bailey.
He just took Bailey, and that was just a sprint. I mean, he just ran straight up on James Williams. And all he was betting on was speed on speed and thinking that Bailey was going to beat Williams out of his break. And that's a hit or miss. They go with the play action, draw people up. You know you have man outside. They just take Bailey. You see he's just running right by him. That ball is just a little shorter. That's 98 and out the gate.
Theory the punt. Second consecutive, third of the first half. Marcus Thomas fumbles it again, and it's finally picked up. And with the ball, David Wilson. And Wilson gets the block, and he's still on his feet inside the 40 and to the 39-yard line.
Hey, that's a heads-up play. And that's also a pickup of about 15 yards from that fumble.
Well, coming up at halftime, James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, John Madden will be in our Fox studio for an NFL preview and first half highlights from this World Bowl 96.
Now there's a guy down, looks like it's the punter, Kevin Ferry.
The one thing about the punters over here, they get in on tackles. We've seen more punters and more special teams kickers get involved in special teams tackles than we've ever seen.
You know, as poorly as the first half has gone for Scotland, they're one play away from tying this thing up and really taking kind of over what's going on in the first half. Because in the first quarter, they played horrible. I mean, they only had the ball for 4 minutes. They gave it up for 11 minutes.
Fury is allocated by the Carolina Panthers to this World League, and he walks off a little slowly.
Now watch number 3. You see him, he's going to be right here. And he's the kicker, and that's the reason why kickers play with no awareness. See, because they have no clue. They're just running down there, and it's not like they do it all the time. And now he's going down there. His job is to be the safety. But what he doesn't see is the guy looking for the safety, and he ear hold him.
So Scotland will try to capitalize on some pretty good field position just before the half from the 39-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go for quarterback Jim Ballard. Going deep, and he wants the quick hitter, and he's receiver, and the catch is made. Yo Murphy.
That should be 6. I don't think he was touched. I think Yo Murphy scored 6, but they're going to mark him on the 1-yard line. That's a huge play. That's even bigger because Ballard had somebody right in his face as that ball was let go. Hey, I like this kid Ballard. Watch Murphy. He's going to run the deep 8 route. He's going to take him, now break back to the inside. Ball is thrown. Now watch, see if he's touched before he gets into the end zone. There's a touch. That's a touchdown. Nobody touched him until he was in the end zone. That should have been 6. As it is, they're marking it on the 1-yard line. Now the front end of that play.
Scotland, that's your second team timeout. 40-second timeout.
And Ballard saw it all the way, stayed with it, had pressure right in his face, and let that ball go.
Murphy picks up 38 yards on a 10-point pass from quarterback Jim Ballard.
See, Ballard at the bottom of your screen was just getting lit up. Now watch how Murphy goes for that ball. Nobody touches him. He's touched there. That should be 6 points. I like the toughness of this kid. I like his mental approach. I like the way he approaches everything.
24 years old, a native of Ohio. Senior year at Mount Union in Ohio, Division III school, threw for 73% completion. And he's done about the same since he's come off the bench late in the year, and replacing Steve Matthews, and he's about 73.5%.
Big, strong kid. He's accurate, and he's tough. I mean, you can't ask for more than that in a quarterback.
See some toughness right here.
He'll just stand in there and stays with it, knows he's going to get hit, and Reynolds hits him right in the kisser. Big completion.
On the 1, first and goal as they try to tie it up. Ron Dickerson comes toward you, number 23. Stacy just about fumbled it away. A flag is thrown, and he's to the 2-yard line. Second time Stacy has almost coughed it up.
Yeah, they got to get that thing ironed out. I don't know what it is, whether he's hesitating or whether the quarterback's not getting the ball clean to hand it off. Whatever it is.
Snap, number 72, 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Please reset the clock to 102. Please reset the clock to 102.
72 is Randy Bierman out of Illinois, and he's with the Green Bay Packers in their '94 camp. He weighs 320 pounds. It's a big front line. I mean, they average about 320 across the front.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. This whole league has some monsters in it. I mean, we've seen some huge people over here.
They're enjoying the food.
Except the steak.
Except the beef. First and goal from the 6. Ballard guns it over the end zone. He's got the touchdown. Yo Murphy has it.
Now that was a chance that Ballard took. And he saw it, and he put some mustard on that thing, and Murphy came down with 6 points. You lose your best player, LaChapelle, with a groin and an ankle. Somebody's got to step it up. Yo Murphy's stepping it up.
And he's had a pretty good day.
Hey, not bad. 3 catches, 50 yards to score. Really, that one shouldn't even have mattered because he scored earlier, which they didn't call.
Right. Gavin Hastings will miss the extra point wide right. So it is not a tie game, and Scotland trails by 1. Hastings missed one last week in Barcelona.
He's been having problems.
Here's
watch
the touchdown
Ballard
again.
I want you to watch Ballard, set his feet, knows where he wants to go. Murphy works his defender, Chris Hall, pushes him upfield. Hall makes he gets a great break on that ball, but he never whips his head around. And because Ballard sees that, I mean, he puts some heat on this thing. Watch him, he sees it right away. Say, I like this kid. Look at this. He knows what he has. He's man up out there. This ball gets past Chris Hall before he can whip his head around, and Yo Murphy's in for 6.
And a nice adjustment by Murphy, too.
Absolutely. That's good football. Mount Union. He said, I know I can play. All I want is a legitimate chance to play. Don't bring me into camp just to throw 7-on-7 and take up time. I want a shot. I'd give him a shot.
And these players know that NFL general managers and scouts and coaches watch the tapes weekly of these games, looking to put together their 96 teams back in the States. And the kickoff returned by Mike Bellamy, and it's a loose ball.
And that's
covered by
Scotland's
Scotland at the 15-yard line. Second time on the kickoff that Frankfurt has fumbled the ball. One time returned for a touchdown. This may cost them a touchdown.
That's Shannon Jones who got that one. Remember, I talked about not having the huge numbers on your roster, so your starters have to play special teams. Jones comes up with this one. Looked like the ball just came out of Bellamy's hand. It just popped loose. Then it bounced off a couple of people, and Shannon Jones comes up with it at the end.
48 seconds remaining in the first half. There's Shannon Jones. His dad, Billy, played running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I didn't know that.
15-yard line, first down and 10. Scotland trying to capitalize, trailing by 1. Late in the first half and 48 seconds remaining. And a lot of movement. There go the flags and the whistles sound, and they'll stop it.
Get a shot of that 6-on-6
Prior to the snap, number 13, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And this is there's Mike Bellamy who fumbled the ball. But yeah, this is the national down. And that's indicated on the first down marker, on the down marker. They'll set a little sign on there, and that indicates that there has to be a national player in this series.
First and 15, back at the 20 with the penalty. Ballard guns it again. Third catch today by tight end Willie T from the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's to the 16-yard line. Clock is at 37 seconds and ticking.
There, you can see there it is right there. See, that indicates that there have to be national players on the field for that series of down. But what's been happening is some of the coaches have been kind of experimenting with that rule.
They don't have their guy in there.
They don't. They say he's hurt, so he can't go out. And so what that means is all Americans would have to play.
Second down, 11, ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. I think it was hit by Don Reynolds, number 90, who is recognized as maybe the best defensive lineman in this league.
And he always gets a push up front, and he has the presence, of course, to knock the ball down. Usually what happens when you're knocking the ball down at the line of scrimmage, it means you're not getting any kind of rush inside. But you do have the presence of mind to be able to get those hands up and knock it down. Ty Parton, the defensive lineman for Scotland, who was hurt, was looked at as the best defensive lineman in the league. And since he's been hurt, Reynolds has kind of stepped it up.
On the 16, third down and 11, trying to get in for more points. And into the end. Joe Murphy has a touchdown. You only need 1 foot in the World League, and that's exactly what he got in, and that is as good a catch as you'll see.
Hey, I don't care if you got to have no feet in. That catch was a great one. I mean, that was a one-hander on a hot and spicy ball that was thrown out there. Yo Murphy, just, boy, what a tremendous catch. That's great football. I don't care if that's Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin or anybody. Yo Murphy just put on a clinic with that thing. But Jim Ballard knows where to throw that ball.
Second consecutive touchdown catch by Murphy. And 4 catches on the day, and Ballard has been right on the money.
And this ball is thrown to the outside. Watch Murphy at the top of your screen. Going to work the DB. Watch it. He breaks him inside. Now he's going to take Chris Hall back outside. Hall goes for the ball. There's your mistake. Here's your opportunity. Watch this. Unbelievable. And that is a score.
And he actually got both feet in bounds.
But the question was whether he had control or not. There's the catch. There's the touchdown. That's a great catch. Yo Murphy.
He was with the BC Lions in the Canadian Football League out of Idaho. And he, like Ballard, trying to show what they can do in front of a worldwide audience tonight.
Where the heck do you get a name like Yo Murphy?
Well, the ironic thing is his middle name isn't Yo as well, and he'd be Yo-Yo. That's like when he was out there playing in the park. Yo Murphy.
That's right. His little sister couldn't say his proper name, which was Llewellyn.
Llewellyn.
And so she came up with Yo, and it stuck. And now Jim Ballard's just saying, Yo, Murphy, here, take it.
Nice catch.
Great catch.
Jim Kreiner, who was an assistant at UCLA under Pepper Rogers, and Dick Vermeil has sent the play into his quarterback. They're going to try for 2. They lead by 5, and down he goes, and the ball is thrown away, incomplete, so wipe it away. And Scotland with 8 seconds remaining in the first half, leading 19-14. So they're trying to get back on track. What they've done now is they missed 2 extra points, and they lead by 5.
Well, 2 consecutive times, the touchdown pass and then the 2-point try, Frankfurt went with a blitz, which means you're having to man people up outside. Ballard recognized it the first time, found Yo Murphy, who makes the tremendous catch. Then the second time it worked, nobody was there in the man coverage, you had to throw it away.
And the nice thing about what Scotland has done today is they have capitalized on the 2 turnovers by Frankfurt.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of turned the corner in the middle of this second quarter defensively. I think Ray Wilsey, by walking that safety up, taking away the run game, making them have to beat them on 3rd down, going with man coverage, done some blitzes, changed things up. That's made the difference.
Paul McCallum will kick off, and there's number 1, Gary Harrell. Hanover Nighthawks, one of some 800 teams that consist of over 45,000 players that play amateur football here in York. And Harrell to the 30, backpedals to the 29, and that ends the first half. So Steve Pallure has got some catching up to do. He did not get the ball late in the second quarter, and Scotland takes advantage of a couple turnovers, and Yo Murphy with 2 touchdown catches. We're at the half. We'll be back at the World Bowl after these messages from your local station.
Back here stateside, halftime of the World Bowl contest. John, Howie, Terry, JB, the score at halftime. Yep, Terry's called it. At the half, Scotland leads at 19-14 over the Galaxy. Let's go to the highlights. Excitement.
Hey, Scottish Claymore fans, they're fired up. There's Sir Rand Stacy, leading rusher in the World League, coming out thinking the Galaxy says, hey, we're going to take you twice. Opening kickoff, Mario Bailey takes the ball, and he will head straight up the field, JB. Check it out. Up the field. I said up the field. Now, there's the hit by George Coghill. Marcus Thomas picks the ball out of there. He rumbles for a touchdown, and the Claymores are up by 7. Back comes Jay Kearney on a reverse from a handoff from Pallure, who also throws a key block, 16-yard touchdown. 7-all, we're tied. Now, deep down the field. There it is. Yo Murphy, 38-yard reception. He also, Yo Murphy makes the TD reception. And now back come the Frankfurt Galaxies. There's the fumble. This all happens in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Claymores have it. Now back down. Mo Murphy to the post, to the corner, John. There it is, ball up in the air. Yo Murphy, touchdown. There you go, extra point, 19-14, went for 2, did make it. And the Claymores, hard to beat them when you're playing at home. You know what I mean, JB?
They shortened that name up for you, didn't they?
Hey, honest to God, that's his name.
Yo Murphy. Let's go to the coach and ask him, what did you like about the first half?
Well, you know, I was impressed with the feeling. You know, you could feel that this is a championship game. And I was impressed with Jim Ballard there at the end, the way that he stood in there, because that one he threw to Yo Murphy, he really took a shot. The thing that is disappointing to me is the tackling. I mean, the fundamentals are not good. There was as many missed tackles in that first half as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and the intensity in the game lends to, number one, it's a championship game. Number two, this is their last shot at impressing NFL scouts. And these are the guys that teams are going to be able to fit into the cap. Yo Murphy, we're looking for Sean LaChapelle. He pulls a grunt. I think he's done enough during the season to impress Kansas City. But Yo Murphy has stepped up all of a sudden with 2 touchdowns. And you're right. quarterback has played well. Hung in there on that big TD play.
Yeah,
And what was that? Was that an out post corner?
That was a post corner, and then the corner came up or
Thank
whatever.
God Biaka Batuka's not
And if
playing
you're ever,
this game.
if you're ever in trouble, you always look for Yo Murphy.
Yo Murphy.
That's number one rule.
Yo, run the post.
They've got John Madden in the zoo as well. Unbelievable. Hey, folks, football stateside preseason variety gets underway August the 10th right here on Fox San Diego and San Francisco, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Fox. Back with more halftime after this. 2 years in television, Jimmy Johnson's now a producer. Folks, you won't want to miss that show as Pam Oliver takes us inside the worlds of Emmett, Steve, and Jimmy Johnson as they get ready for the upcoming NFL season. Now, once again, that's our all-access show, August 24th. Check your local listings for the time in your area. And you know that those three guys will be a big part of what happens this NFL season. Here's a snapshot of what to look for this year.
Check it out!
With all the activity in the NFL's offseason, the biggest move involved a coach, not a player. And Jimmy Johnson has made it perfectly clear he's the man in charge. The Jets not only got the #1 pick in the draft, Keyshawn Johnson, they also picked up someone to throw him the ball, Pittsburgh's Neil O'Donnell. And in other moves, can Dallas's D withstand the loss of 4 starters to free agency? And speaking of free agency, here's a list of new addresses. Chris Doman has flown from the Falcons and landed with the Niners. Carolina grabbed Eric Davis from the Niners and Kevin Green from the Steelers. And Leslie O'Neal has bolted from the Chargers to play for the Rams. And finally, the question surrounding prime time is, how much wideout will he play? All right, as we come back inside, you know, one of the questions asked all offseason, John, thus far is, can Jimmy Johnson have that big an impact on the Dolphins that Shula didn't have last year?
Well, I have all the respect in the world for Don Shula, but I think that Jimmy Johnson can, because he's one of those guys, as you can see, I mean, he's a motivator. He's a guy that gets people excited. And the 2 areas that he can really help the Dolphins right now are the 2 areas where excitement and motivation can help, and that's on defense and special teams.
Yeah, I agree. Defensively, they have some holes. They've lost some people, but I think their offense will be intact. I think Dan Marino is excited about the possibility of winning a championship, something that's eluded him in the past. He's ready to throw the ball 12 times and run the ball 45, 50 times a game. I like them. Obviously, Dallas and Frisco are 2 teams that once again are at the head of the class in the NFC. Carolina's a team that's made some great acquisitions. I think they pick up Green, move Latham over to the blind side, pick up Eric Davis, Skrepnek, and Tim Biaka Batuka from Michigan. I like that team. Kerry Collins says, forget about the hitch. I'm just going to worry about turnover.
You know, you talk about Jimmy, and Jimmy, I do believe in Jimmy, and I think the players believe in Jimmy. When
That's
Jimmy
not what you said off camera.
I know what I said off. Doesn't matter what I say now. But Jimmy does carry us a certain amount of confidence that people feed off of, and the team will do that. But I want to know if that rookie Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is going to be the running back to get the running game started, or the kid out of Auburn, or whatever it is, because they're going to have to be able to run the football to win down there.
Yeah, that's the thing that they need. They have to be able to run and to play defense. But with the AFC, to me, they have as good a chance as anyone, because I think that thing's wide open. I mean, Buffalo is a possibility. Kansas City, Pittsburgh was there last year. But I still think when you talk about the NFL, the best team is the Dallas Cowboys. And there's a gap, and the next group was the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers, and there's another gap.
You know, you talk about running, and I think running is a big key. When it gets down to it in the big game, you need to be able to run the ball, and San Francisco still hasn't addressed that. Johnny Johnson injured his back in minicamp. Vardell's coming off an injury. Will William Floyd come back from his injury? They can't run the ball. J.J. Stokes will have a breakout year, though, for San Francisco.
All right, the NFL season just around the corner, but we've got a second half of action coming your way. World Bowl 96, the score at halftime, 19-14 Scotland. Who's the guy that figures big for Scotland in the first half?
Yo Murphy!
Yep, there it is. There it is, Yo Murphy. Kevin Harlan, Matt Millen will come your way after this.
Some of the beautiful Scottish countryside. Loch Ness, actually, and I don't see any monster there, but nonetheless, we've had a great game inside Muirfield in Edinburgh, Scotland. And because of a couple of Frankfurt fumbles, Scotland has taken advantage of them, and they've gone on top 19-14 with Matt Millen, Kevin Harlan. Interesting game, and we've seen some tremendous individual performances so far.
Well, Yo Murphy is the guy. I mean, Yo Murphy's made some catches, and Jim Ballard, the quarterback, hasn't wasted any time finding him. You know, Sean LaChapelle, their #1 receiver, the MVP of this league, gets hurt. He goes down. Somebody's got to step up. Yo Murphy has done that. And then Ballard, the quarterback, has really found himself. And what he's been able to do is just relax and take over the offense.
Third member of our crew is Bill Moss. Bill?
Hey, guys, I'm standing here with Steve Fuller. Steve, any big changes at halftime?
I don't think so. I think we just need to keep doing what we're doing and, you know, keep driving the ball. I don't think they've stopped us a whole lot. We've stopped ourselves a lot, so we just got to keep working.
You've been in this situation before, no stranger to comebacks. Did you talk to the team at all?
Yeah, I mean, we're you know, just disappointed that we turned the ball over and they didn't really, you know, drive the ball on our defense to win. So we feel like we're still in control of this game.
Thanks, Steve. Best of luck second half.
I would agree. Yeah, Billy, I would agree with what Steve Fuller had to say. If they can get back to what they were doing in the first half, they're going to be in good shape. But the biggest key for that, as you look at the numbers right now, is running the football. When they were running the ball effectively, Steve Fuller had those 8 completions. Since they've been able to take that run away and turn it into a one-sided thing, they've been able to force him into a couple throws that he didn't want, and also a sack.
That is about as authentic as you get. Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers here in beautiful Edinburgh.
Well, you can see the biggest thing is it's highlighted over there for the Claymores, the 13 points off a turnover. They started the game with 6 off of a fumble, and then later on, the fumble by Mike Bellamy turned into another Jim Ballard touchdown to Yo Murphy. Time of possession is kind of evened up.
And we go back downstairs to Bill Moss.
Guys, Sean LaChapelle is definitely out of the game, and that's going to be a big factor for him. You know, you saw they got Yo Murphy into the game plan, but now Frankfurt is going to take him out of it. Watch him to get the ball to the backside of the backfield, and also tight end Willie Tate. Back up to you.
And Tate's already had a big day with 3 catches.
And what that does really, if they're going to try to take Yo Murphy out, that means that they're going to have more patience from the quarterback position. Because if they're going to make a definitive effort to take one receiver away, it's going to have to open somebody else. And it'll be up to Ballard to find him.
Kleiman set to kick it off for Frankfurt. Deep back. Marcus Thomas. Yo Murphy. And Thomas, who is their primary returner from the 15-yard line, a block for Murphy, and now he'll get another block and take it across field. He's outside the 25, by the 30, and near the 38-yard line. Pretty good return, a nice beginning field position for Coach Jim Frank. 23-yard return. First down and 10 from the 38-yard line. The Claymore, by the way, is that short sword you see on the side of their helmet. In fact, you've kind of a history buff yourself, and you were telling me that that was used in hand-to-hand combat.
That was a hand-to-hand an artillery sword, actually. Originally from the Roman Empire. The short sword. My son collects them.
I'm impressed. Well, with your son and with you.
You wouldn't be when he starts hitting you with them.
First down 10 from the 38-yard line. Saran Stacy fumbles for a 3rd time, and he covers this back at the 30, and they lose 7 yards.
You know, it's funny when you see Saran Stacy in a game like this, and they said he's the difference with his leadership, and he'd be able to, you know, contribute in the running game and all this stuff. But the thing is, in the States, when he was with Philadelphia, one of the knocks on him was that he didn't hold on to the ball. And he'd gotten over that fumble bug, but today it's been him 3 times already.
You don't know if he's going to make a big game. What'd you say? He's going to be 28 years old in a couple of weeks.
Age is a big factor with Saran Stacy.
Loss of 6, 2nd down and 16. They bring all front 4 into the face of Ballard, who throws out of bounds and incomplete. They missed LaChapelle.
Well, they do. I mean, you're always going to miss, you know, the MVP of the league in the offense. Of course you're going to. And then when he's such a big part of this offense. But I think one of the things is he's taken a lesser role since Ballard has come on, because Ballard will find other people.
Like Yo Murphy.
Like Yo Murphy, and that time he's looking to Scott Cooper. Scott Cooper, a national player. who defended his thesis and now has his doctorate in polymer chemistry.
And what?
I don't know what it means, but I know it's impressive.
And he does, and he got his PhD. 3rd and 16.
He's going for Cooper again.
And Cooper, the national player from Finland, makes the grab at the 47-yard line.
Scott Cooper. I'll tell you, this kid here has gotten better and better as the year has gone on. I watched him at the beginning of the season. See number 81. He's gotten to the point where he's a major contributor and can be counted on in this offense. Very bright guy. He's developed pretty good hands.
Short of the first down, they got a punt on 4th down. It's inside the 20. And Harrell will let it go down, and it's finally touched by the Claymores. 38-yard punt. Frankfurt will get it for the first time in the second half, and that means Steve Poole. Scott Cooper just made that catch. He's one of many nationals on the field today. He's a wide receiver who played some amateur football in Glasgow, and he's also out there with Gavin Hastings from Edinburgh, Paul McCallum from the Canadian Football League and representing the country of Canada, and Ben Torriero from Edinburgh. Those are the Claymore national players. Most of the national players in this league will be kickers or punters because of the great soccer heritage over here. And there's Steve Poole of Frankfurt. And Frankfurt's got their share, including Ingo Seibert, who played for the Munich Cowboys. And Draver from Dusseldorf, Oliver Quast from Munich, Cologne kicker Daniel Kuhner. So a well-represented group from the country of Germany. First down and 10. Seibert makes the run over the tackle, and he's out to about the 20-yard line. Gains about 5. Now there are rules, too, which accompany these national players.
4 yards gain to the play. Second down, 6 yards to go for a first.
Got to have 7 on your team. They must be in there for every other series. Must be on the field for special teams play. That's why you see so many in the kicking aspect of the game. But there are rules which accompany having these nationals on your team. A lot of teams think of them as a liability. Most, though, think of them as a huge asset. Seibert. Nowhere to run that time, and he's down to the 18-yard line.
There's Joe O'Brien, that race. I talked to him the other day, Jason Buck, who played with me with the Washington Redskins, said, Matt, I have to talk to you about this guy, Joe O'Brien. He lives and breathes the Raiders. That's all he talks about. All he wants to do is have a shot to play for the Oakland Raiders. He said he doesn't care what he does. Snap, defense, anything. I'll do anything. Walks around with that silver and black hat constantly.
Last year he was in the Vikings camp up in Mankato. 3rd down. 8 to go. The pass is caught. He's got to get to the 25, and he gets to the 21. The catch was made by Mario Bailey.
Nice defense by James Williams, 22.
They got a punt on 4th down.
That's good defense. Hey, anytime you stop the first, you win. You're going to watch as he's looking back inside. Here comes James Williams, 22. Watch him breaking the ball. Now Bailey comes back and makes the catch. Now you hold on and you make the tackle. You make the tackle, force the punt, you win.
3rd consecutive punt for Fury. Marcus Thomas to the 30-yard line, and he's got some room to go. And finally brought down by Frankfurt's Hillary Button, who's a linebacker, and back downstairs to Bill Moss.
Hey, guys, Jim Ballard just had to switch helmets because his earpiece seemed to be misfunctioning some way. So they took off another helmet, put a new face mask on, and he's back into the game with someone else's helmet. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, see if he can hear.
Rules are the same, and they use the same radio communication in the helmets.
Now remember the rule, if his radio communicator does not work, then Pelor has to not use his as well. He better hope he didn't pick up one of those big old bucket head lineman helmets, so that thing will be flopping all over the place.
First down and 10 from the 37.
First down and 10.
19-14. Claymores, the team with the ball, leading by 5. A little play action. A little waggle by the quarterback, and he gets the pass out to the tight end, Willie Tate. He fumbles the ball. Picked up by Cooper, the national player, and he takes it all the way to the 36-yard line.
Scott Cooper had been running a deep end to clear out that area. And then as they ran Willie Tate across the field, Cooper was still behind him. You're going to watch this. Cooper, 85, is going to stay inside. Now you dump back outside. To the top, you see Cooper at the top of the screen. He was trying to clear out that quadrant. Ball pops up. Cooper's right there because he's doing the right thing coming back to the ball. Now, I like this kid. I think he's one of those players that's never going to hurt you. He's a smart kid, tries hard, gives you a lot of effort all the time. In fact, he's there all the time as your national starter in the series.
Siran Stacy on 1st and 10 is inside the 30 on a gain of 6 to the 29.
And see, that was a perfect shot of why Cooper is invaluable. Now, he grasped the game. He was playing club football over here. And he's not afraid to do anything you ask him. He'll play special teams. He'll block when you have to. That time, he gave Siran Stacy a block and enabled them to pick up 7 yards.
And he's smart.
Smart kid.
PhD we talked about. During the season, he had to defend his thesis. 2nd down, 3 to go. Stacy for the 1st down inside the 25.
I'll tell you how smart Scott Cooper is. Jim Kreiner says, oh, I love that Scott Cooper. Everybody on the team likes him. He's one of the team. They accepted him. He said, in fact, I liked him so much in his work ethic. I came up to him and said, Scott, how would it be if we put you on the kickoff team? What do you think? He says, I think the other team would score. So he's smart enough to know what he can't do either.
He's honest. 1st and 10, 25. Stacy again. Another running play. And just a couple yards.
Gets the call again, so add Stacy for another couple.
Jim Kreiner.
Well, the patience is what you're seeing from Jim Kreiner and his offensive staff along with Ballard. And there's one thing to talk about patience and having it called the game that way, but there's another thing about being on the field and actually doing it. And I think that says good things about Jim Ballard.
That graphic said some not so nice things about Siran Stacy. 3 fumbles, 2 which have been recovered, and Ballard was hit as he threw. They got great pressure on him that time. Ron Wolfork was there. He's out of Colorado, number 59. And again, there's Don Reynolds out of Virginia, already a sack today, and he was right in the face of quarterback Jim
Reynolds
Ballard.
has been getting the push up front. I mean, he's been working right inside. You can see he gets up. Not a great collapse pocket, but he has the presence to get those hands up. Same thing we saw earlier.
3rd down and a long 8. Another play action by the quarterback, who looks for Stacy downfield and can't find him, and he is finally found by Fred Foggy, who is out of the University of Minnesota, number 36, and he lassos Ballard and rides him out of bounds.
Now, Gavin Hastings is a national hero here. He's coming in. Oh, this is Paul McCallum. Thought it was 15. McCallum, the kicker, out of Canada, will try one from 36 yards.
First field goal attempt today, and this kick is good. And Scotland extends their lead. There is a flag down on the play, and so we'll wait and get the determination on that. But if it's and it's against Scotland.
That's a big one, too. Everybody's high-fiving Lance Gunn over there at 39. He must have come off the corner and somebody hooked him.
A referee, Walt Coleman from the NFL.
Holding, number 59, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
Now it's a 46-yard attempt.
And they caught David Webb, 59, off the corner. Watch the left side of your screen. You're going to see David Webb, number 59. And he's going to be working off those 2 guys off the corner. And what happens is you have to time that. So you push inside and then outside. He got that left hand hooked.
So on the Willie Tate hold, the kick is good from 46 yards away by Paul McCallum.
Man, he killed that sucker. He had another 20 yards in that thing.
Interestingly enough, he kicked a 46-yard field goal earlier in the season, McCallum did, to beat Frankfurt for Scotland. He's just given them a nice 22-14 lead. Week 5, the Claymores defense dominated on the road, shutting down and shutting out Frankfurt's supernova offense. Jim Kreiner's squad celebrated a World Bowl berth with a 20-0 victory. The Galaxy looked for revenge Week 7 in Scotland with less than a minute left. They tied it at 17, but with 1 second on the clock, Paul McCallum kicked the game-winning 46-yard field goal. And McCallum just kicked another 46-yard field goal with 8:14 remaining in the third quarter. He's just put Scotland on top, 22-14. And the kickoff, Bellamy from the 16-yard line. And he runs into a oncoming tackler, got a block, and now we'll take it across the field. Finally, down to 26.
See that little switch right there in special team thinking? That was good thinking. They took Gavin Hastings that time. They tried to kick it away from Harrell and kick it to Bellamy and then try to corner him on the side so he doesn't give him anything to run.
This is
Gavin Hastings, rugby national hero here. I think Bill Moss kind of put it best yesterday. He said you take your best rugby player and you turn him into a kicker. What kind of a game is rugby?
What kind of a kicker is he? He struggled. First down and 10 from the 26-yard line. Here's Steve Pallure. Pretty good time this time, and he's got to get out of the pocket and look downfield, and he throws a pass caught by Bailey. He's got the first down to the 48-yard line of Scotland.
Boy, that's Pallure. Boy, that is very nice. Pallure bought some time. He rolls back outside, and Mario Bailey, he's a tough guy. I mean, he's just a good football player. He's going to break down. There's coverage on the outside. Pallure is going to see that the corner falls down. Bailey rolls back to the inside where no one is. Williams recovers and makes the play, but not before he gets the first down.
To the 47. And on first and 10, it's a run to the 45.
We talked about tough guys. One of the tough guys I've seen while I've been here in Scotland is Bill Moss. I mean, how about that stuff he was eating yesterday? And he's the only guy I've ever seen who has baked beans and eggs for breakfast. And then he would try anything. I mean, they had that little hockey puck thing there. I don't know what they call it. They told us it was black pudding. It turns out it was boiled down blood. He loved it.
Cow blood.
Boiled down bull's blood, you know? And I know after Scottish breakfast why they wear kilts now. You get all that gas going down in there, it's easy to have that kilt.
Spoken like a true lineman.
Second down 8, and Bellamy comes up with a big catch at the 31-yard line. Here's what it looks like. That black stuff there, that's
that
the
bite.
bull's blood.
See that bite? He took a bite of that bull's blood, and he loved it. And then he said, hey, this stuff is really good, guys.
And what about those beans? They eat beans here 24 hours a day.
You know what the deal is? The deal is he gives me so much hot air that I can compete with you guys up there.
Okay, Bill.
I needed supplements.
Well, I know you were regular. I know that for sure.
Well, that was a tough guy for you. Played in the middle of that Kansas City defense.
All-pro.
He would knock you out any chance he had.
Play clock is at 6. Pallure's faced with the first and 10 from the 32-yard line. And looking for Bailey. And
what a catch!
And it is a
That's good.
touchdown.
Yes, sirree. Boy, they found Mario Bailey in a hurry. He has been the whole offense here in this third quarter. Went right down the field in this series. He's not a big guy. 165, 170 pounds. He can run 5'9", but he's tough. And he wants the ball.
Now the Galaxy is down by 2, and we'll see if they'll try to go for the 2-point conversion and tie the game, as Steve Pallure will stay in the game, and that's exactly what they'll do. And so the offense shows a little bit of life after having to punt it away 3 consecutive times and being absolutely dead.
But notice how they've done it. They got rid of the run game. They've just started airing it out.
Pallure will try for the 2-point conversion. He's deployed 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen.
Here they're going to motion.
Pallure on the 2-point conversion, and it's almost picked off and incomplete.
Well, they got some pressure. See what they tried to do. They tried to go on the 2-point conversion. They tried to go with a pick and get Bellamy back underneath. In the touchdown, though, this was all Mario Bailey. Watch Pelor sees him, knows he has a man up, throws that ball deep, over the shoulder catch. Watch the concentration, fingertips, 1 foot is in, that's all that's required, and that's 6.
We have seen some great catches today.
Really have. Now this one would not have worked in the NFL, but watch the Willie Mays over the shoulder catch. Look at this. That's beautiful. 1 foot was in, 1 foot was out. You need 1 in this league. He beats Fuller at 6 points.
Mario Bailey today, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns, and he brings the Galaxy to within 2 with that long 32-yard touchdown reception.
Now, on the 2-point conversion, they tried to go with a pick between Bellamy and Kearney. And it's going to be coming into the bottom right hand of your screen, but because of the pressure and Arnold L.A. sitting in the middle, it goes for naught.
Kleinman to kick off. Marcus Thomas is deep back with Yo Murphy. And this will be Yo Murphy from the 16-yard line. He's caught 2 touchdown passes today. He's up to the 28-yard line, where the Scotland team will have it first down and 10.
You know, Kevin, I can't tell you how much I'm impressed with the crowd over here. They got over 40,000. They're really into it. They understand the game, and I think that's the biggest difference in the last 3 years, is this crowd has really become educated with American football. And these people know how to have fun at games. There's confetti and dancing and flag waving and singing and songs and men in skirts and there's all kinds of stuff over here.
I want to see you in your skirts.
Believe me, you'll never see it.
It has definitely been a very strong season of success for the World League of American Football this year. First and 10, Ballard right to work, and he's got a receiver. And it's Will Murphy, and he's got a touchdown, his 3rd of the day.
John LaChapelle could not be happier for Yo Murphy. We talked about it earlier. Somebody was going to have to step up. Who is it going to be? Yo Murphy said me. 3rd touchdown of the day. This one, he just uses speed. Ballard throws the ball perfectly, catches in stride up the sideline. Touchdown.
71 yards on the touchdown catch. Murphy, his 3rd touchdown reception today. 131 yards receiving total for Murphy. On the extra point by Hastings, and it is no good. His 2nd miss in as many tries. This is the extra point. Jim Ballard did not miss on Yo Murphy. A World Bowl record 137 yards for Yo Murphy. This one puts the Claymores up by 8. Yo Murphy, 3 touchdown catches today. But the last one of 71 yards, as pretty as you'll see.
Well, what you're going to see is you watch him work in his zone, and he gets Cecil Doggett to bite. See, Doggett is looking back inside. You can't do that. I mean, you're in your zone, you settle down, now you play with awareness. There's only one guy who can hurt you, and that's Murphy. But because he whips around, bites, Murphy gets back outside, 71 yards later, it's gone.
And here's Jim Ballard, who has set a single-game World Bowl record with his performance today. He is 12 of 19. Last week, he was 22 of 27. He has put in 3 absolutely unbelievable games.
All he wanted was a chance.
He may have just gotten his chance in the NFL as Gary Harrell inside the 10 will bring it upfield for Frankfurt, and there he goes. Harrell by the 35 to the 38-yard line. And World Bowl records for Yo Murphy. 3 touchdowns, 137 yards.
And that one was a nice catch from 71, most of it a run. But his one-hander before the half was awesome. That was one of those things that you do when you're a kid and you just kind of walk around and say, yeah, I did it. Boy, that is ugly, isn't they're doing the twist over here in Scotland. They're only about 25 years behind.
Yeah. But they're doing it. And the handoff went to Seibert. He was lassoed and brought down by Simon.
No gain on that play. Second.
Mo Simon, number 69, was just signed this past week. Joined the team on Wednesday, and he makes a tackle in the World Bowl on Sunday.
Taking the quick pitchers with the king of their legs.
Down in the long 9. Under 5 to play in the third quarter. Lure from the shotgun, going deep, looking for Harrell, and he's double teamed, and the pass is a little overthrown.
Well, they have, when they've gone deep, they've tried to get to David Wilson. They had Mario Bailey, ran by coverage before. This time they went right at Wilson with Harrell, and he just ran right by him. But Pelluer has not been able to connect on that deep ball.
Frankfurt Galaxy 6 and 10.
Pelluer's passing today. He's had a couple touchdown passes. One. That's a couple over here. The exchange rate isn't very good.
Well, you know, time zone change. By the time they see this, you know, you'll have thrown another one.
Frankfurt on third down today is 6 of 10. They got it third down and 9, and down goes Pelluer. And he's brought down by Joe O'Brien, the Raider wannabe.
Hey, he does play hard. He's never going to be a great player, but he's always going to give you everything he has. And today he has played very hard over there. Kind of a sawed-off guy, not real big. You're going to watch. They're going to run the stunt. Jason Buck inside. Out comes O'Brien around the corner. Once he gets it, the old punch into the air, and he's got himself a sack. That 248 is wrong. He's about 265.
The punt, and here comes Marcus Thomas. And he is out to the 40-yard line. Well, I was right on Pelluer. He does have 2 touchdown passes today. One to Bailey for 2 yards, and then to Bailey again for 32 yards.
I knew that.
So they kept changing the exchange right there, but Pelluer does indeed have 2 touchdown passes today.
I knew I read that someplace.
Yeah, well, you read it on my sheet.
Well, yeah, you wrote it down, and then I read it. And that's the way kilts are supposed to look. Instead of those hairy legs that I've been looking at.
It does not look that way on you.
You'll never see one on me, believe me.
The Claymores with the ball, lead by 8, 28-20. We're down under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter, and Siran Stacy, one-time second-round pick by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Buddy Ryan is to the 41-yard line and picks up about a yard.
It's a new swing pass.
Some of these allocated players have been putting in a pretty good year. One of them, Wagner, the right offensive tackle, number 78. Playing pretty well. He got gets his hands up, got great feet. He's really got to learn how to punch with those hands. But he's been playing well. Has not been getting any pressure over that side.
He's going to go to the Redskins camp this summer. Second down, a long 9. Ballard in trouble, and Ballard brought down. Sacked on the play by Mike Kerr out of the University of Florida, number 66.
I think I just jinxed Wagner. Just as I've been saying, they've been getting no pressure over there. Kerr beats Wagner for the sack.
Wagner's with the Redskins, Purvis Hunt, Zeno, and Bart, all linemen on there. Bart with the Chiefs, Zeno with the Rams, and Hunt, as well as Wagner, going to the Redskins for Coach Norm Turner.
That time he was fine, and he got pushed upfield, and Kerr spun back inside and beat him.
Third down and 13. And the catch made by Will Murphy. He's got the first down to the 48-yard line. He took a wicked hit after the play.
Well, he sure did.
And the receiving end by huge hits. Now, let's see where they spot the ball. That could be good enough.
Wagner, you see from the sideline. Ballard will get this ball out because of the protection up front, and Murphy just slides right in between. And then Johnny Dixon, I think he really whacked his own guy there. More than Murphy.
So Murphy is up, and a player for the Galaxy is down at the 50-yard line. They can't afford to lose another receiver. Speaking of Scotland, they've already lost Sean LaChapelle, who is the MVP of the league, and Murphy has had a record-breaking day today, and there you see Ernie Staudter looking down at one of his fallen troops at the 50-yard line.
Ballard has been getting the time to throw. Johnny Dixon, 42, comes in. The guy he hit really is Cecil's dog, and that's who's down. There's the ball. Here comes Dixon. Hit him right in the chest.
Doggett is from West Virginia, and he is slow to get up. Good news is he's on his feet. The bad news is he thinks he's in Frankfurt.
Well, he's going to be all right, and that's one of the tough things of this game. I mean, there's some tough hitting out there, and that's part of it. When you walk on the field, you know it's there. You play hard anyway.
There's Joe Murphy, and he's being attended to on the sideline. They're running out of bodies. Injuries are a big factor over here. You can't as easily replace players over here as you can back in the States. First down and 10 because of Murphy's catch. He's inside the 49-yard line. And they blow that play dead.
Now they got to get somebody moving inside. Either Zeno or Bart moved for Scotland.
Prior to the snap, number 61. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Zeno.
That was Zeno. The center, he had a block back. He wanted to get a jump on him.
I think we had some Zeno sometime this week, didn't we?
Whatever that is. That offensive line's done a pretty good job up there protecting Ballard.
Penalty of 5 yards. First and 15. Push it back to the 46. Misdirection. Stacy inside the 45 and pushing ahead near the 41. That's a pickup of 14 yards.
Well, you got Saran Stacy, and all he's doing is he's following Wagner and Purvis Hunt. Watch big 79-78 right side of your screen. There's the block by Wagner. There's a nice block up there by the fullback, and then Purvis Hunt flattens out everybody. How about that Purvis Hunt, number 79? Came into camp, weighed 383 pounds, but he says he's in good shape. He lost 43 pounds. He's down to 340.
Second down and 2 to go in the handoff again. Saran Stacy not get it to the 40 with the yard remaining. 3rd and 1 with about 1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Team with the ball, Scotland on top, 28-20. The weather is absolutely picture perfect. Scotland about 68 degrees. There's sun, there's no wind, and normally it's misty and a little chilly and a little rainy. Third and about a yard. The pitch out. They go to Stacy, who cuts inside.
I'll tell you who made a great block in that play is Scott Cooper. Scott
in motion.
Who came in short motion and got his kickout block. I mean, he's just a wisp of a guy, not very big. Stacy just cut off that skinny little rear end, went right back inside and picked up the first down. That's a big block by Scott Cooper.
3rd quarter winding up here at Edinburgh. Saran Stacy has rushed for 53 yards. So he's beginning to pick up his momentum. The Claymores on top, 28-20. Now this word from your local stations.
Here's the reason why I like Scotty Cooper. He's 165 pounds, soaking wet with a rock in his hand. Watch number 81. He goes right after Bernard Carter. He's getting a little help from Willie Tate, but he knows he got the first one. Now he throws himself back inside to keep on helping. I mean, that's what this league is all about, and that's how you play the game. I mean, you play it the best you can. You don't have to be the greatest. You just have to give your best, and that's why Scott Cooper has done well. It's funny, you know, he's defended his thesis. He has his doctorate in chemistry. He says, I have much more fun being an athlete than I ever do being an academic.
We begin the 4th quarter with the team with the ball, the Scottish Claymores, leading by 8. Got it first down and 10 from the 36-yard line, and a quick handoff, and there's nowhere to go for Siran Stacy. No gain, second down and 10, downstairs to Bill Moss.
Hi guys, standing with me is President of the NFL, Neil Austria. Neil, you have to be happy about the turnout of the crowd.
This is extraordinary. We've got over 40,000 people here, and the amazing thing is they know football, and they know when to cheer, they know when not to cheer, and I think this is going to be a real turnaround event for us here in the World League.
What can we expect from the NFL and the World League in the upcoming years?
I think you're going to see us continue with what we've got now. 6 teams next year, hopefully expand by 2 in the following years, and then we'll just have to wait and see.
Thank you, Neil. Congratulations on the successful World League. Back up to you guys.
Second down, 11, and Ballard gets away from 1. That's Cavallo. And he throws it away wisely, incomplete. Third and 11.
That's a nice play right there by Jim Ballard. Ballard able to shake the first guy in Cavallo and then has the presence to throw it out of bounds and avoid that. Sets up third down. And I think this is the maturity that he's gained while he's been over here. And that's what this league was designed to do. And now you have the presence. You get out of it, set down, find your receiver, throw it out of bounds. Yeah, you take a hit to the chops, but that's part of the game.
Scotland 4 of 9 on third downs, and they've got it third down and 11. Little play action by Ballard, who's going to go to the far side. It's caught, but is it enough for the first down? He is right on the 26.
Well, he knows it.
He's probably shot.
Yeah, and the defense wins. I mean, it's a nice catch, but the defense wins. Now, this is, you know, Scott Cooper would know more to make sure he gets past that first down mark. He has to lay out. He comes back to the ball. It's a nice catch, but it's short and sets up fourth down.
And a yard.
Well, they're going to go for it on fourth down.
They lead by 8. We're in the fourth quarter early. This could be an interesting play. Quarterback keeper by Jim Ballard, who today makes his third start, and he may have burrowed enough for the first down near the 8 to the 25.
I'll tell you who made the quarterback sneaks the way they run now. When they started to do a few years ago, guys would just take the snap and just kind of fall in. Now they take that delay step. And Randall Cunningham was the guy who really started to do all that. You take that step, let things develop, and then run. Now that's the way everybody does. Ballard does the same thing, just takes that delay step, lets it develop, and then jumps in.
And he's got that big line to push him.
If you get behind that big rear end of Purvis Hunt, you can go anywhere.
That is a big rear end. First down and 10. Stacy on the pitch, doesn't like what he sees left.
Fumble!
Fumbles it for the 4th time today, and it's a loose ball. And they have not signaled yet.
Well,
they blow it down.
I do not see an official pointing to the ground, which means that's a live ball and should be a fumble. And they're going to have their little powwow over there.
4th fumble by Stacy today. One of it
he's got to be smarter there. That's going the other way. Stacy knew he had nowhere to run. You don't second effort at this point. You just get down. I mean, Barry Sanders gets in this position. You're covered. Get down to the ground, protect the ball. Here he tries to pick up another half a yard, and the ball pops out. And Johnny Dixon picks it up, and it's fumble recovered, going the other way.
The thing about Stacy is he has been as good a running back as this league has ever known.
He's just a little player. The second effort, he's just got to be a little smarter. The second effort's killed him twice now with fumble.
Malure trying to take advantage. His team's down by 8. We're early in the 4th, and the handoff goes to the Vikings' Bobby Phillips, who cuts the corner and brings his way to the 40s. He picks up 6 on first down.
Look at Saran right there. Bobby Phillips is a player I think Franklin should use more.
Time. I'll look that block.
I mean, obviously, the last game of the season's a little tough. But Bobby Phillips has that Dave Meggett kind of look about him. He's got the quick feet. He catches the ball well out of the backfield. He'll go downfield. He'll run the ball quick. He likes to get to the outside. I think they need to integrate him more into their offense.
Second down and 4. Pelluer stands in the pocket. He's got Kearney for the first down. Kearney inside the 40 into the 37-yard line.
Nice blocking up front by that offensive line. Allows Pelluer to have the time. That time, Kearney was able to get behind the backers as a flag is thrown and get in front of the secondary and comes up with a play, but that one's coming back.
For the first time, how you enjoying your first Scottish Claymores game? You're going to come back next season. We look forward to seeing you, Bobby. Thank you.
Ernie Stutner had to win the last 2 regular season games.
Holding, offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
They caught Collins holding. I'm going to tell you, 5 games I've watched, that's the first holding call I've seen. I mean, you'll be watching tapes of this league, and the guys are just getting killed in there, just getting ripped out. Watch number 65, left side of your screen, is going to come in right in here. That's what they're going to call. And actually, I don't even like the call. He got his left hand up high in his throat, but he got it back down quick.
Second down, 14. Pelluer goes down. He eats the ball, and coming through was Brian Proby, the Arizona State Wildcat, or out of the Kansas City Chiefs allocation program.
That's a nice pass rush by Proby. It's got to the corner. Anytime you can get that step on the corner of the offensive lineman, you're going to beat it.
25 yards.
That first penalty on Collins killed him. I mean, that was a 30-yard difference. And then the sack takes off another 10. He got third and forever.
Proby, 6'5", played for the Sun Devils at Arizona State, and a timeout taken by Steve Pelluer. Means he's got 2 remaining. He'll go over and talk with Ernie Stutner. We're in the 4th quarter. The team with the ball is down by 8. Well, before the game outside Muirfield here in Edinburgh, Scotland, they had what they call power parties that the World League puts on outside before the game with the face painting and the concerts, and they've got thousands and thousands of moms, dads, and kids. Now they're inside.
I tell you, you get to a game over here, it's like you go to a party and a game breaks out. They have a blast over here. I mean, they warned me when I got here that Frankfurt was going to be amazing, and it was. I didn't believe them. I said, it's going to be like, one of the big games in the States. Not even close. These people come to have a blast.
Scotland had the best regular season record. Frankfurt won their last 2 games to get in for a 2nd consecutive year. Now it's 3rd down, and Pelluer's got to get to the 44, and he'll go to the air, and he locates Hick. The interception pulled down by James Fuller, number 20 from Portland State, and he's brought down by Gary Hill, and Steve Pelluer has turned it over with an interception for the first time today.
And the whole thing is set up by the holding call by Collins. They went from a first down, they lost about 30 yards of field position, then the sack as the flag is thrown again. Now you have them 3rd and long, you sit back in your zones, and you make them have to throw to you. Everything's in front of you. You're James Fuller, you let the ball come right to you.
Penalty was called on the return, and it was charged against Scotland. The interception will stand. And the ball will be marched back, but nonetheless deep in Frankfurt territory and downstairs to Bill Moss.
Number 20, the taunting, spiking the ball at a player. 15 yards, first down.
15 yards. That official was not Bill Moss. Bill doesn't look that good.
Now let's go to Bill.
Hey, guys, that foul was on James Fuller, and it was unsportsmanlike conduct. He spiked the ball at the foot of the intended receiver because James Fuller was on the Frankfurt Galaxy at the beginning of the season, and Ernie Stutner cut him, and he's out here playing with revenge.
We had a good one to get revenge with. Nice pick.
First down and 10 by Ballard, who guns it.
Almost gave it back.
Off. Almost intercepted by Chris Hall. It's incomplete. Second down and 10.
That's the second time I've seen Ballard force a throw. Remember earlier in the game, Chris Hall almost had a pick. He tried to force that one, and then this one here, Dixon almost has the pick.
Ballard on the back of his helmet has a Kansas City Chiefs sticker. He is using the helmet of the other quarterback, Steve Matthews, who is an allocated player for the Kansas City Chiefs, because Ballard's helmet is in repair. 2nd down and 10. And they get it out on Dickerson. Played for Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles back in '95 in their camp. Has run out of bounds. A nice looking pass. It'll be 3rd down. Ron Dickerson's dad is Ron Sr., who's the head coach at Temple.
Also coached at Penn State earlier, where Ron grew up, was a senior in State College High School, went to Arkansas.
Right. Where he was a great track player. Performer in 100 yards.
We'd like to get them back.
Hurdles.
Here comes 3rd down.
3rd down, about 2.5.
Oh, Nelly.
And they try the fake, and it goes back to the quarterback, who throws downfield, and it's incomplete to Ron Dickerson.
They tried the flea flicker. They stayed with the coverage all the way. I'll tell you, Scott Cooper makes an effort to get the ball back to Ballard to make this throw. To Stacy, to Cooper, he's about to get waxed, and he throws it back, and Ballard is able to make this throw, but the coverage is downfield.
That ball touched about everybody's hands on the offense.
I think it did. Now, Dickerson's going up the sideline, but there's nice coverage. And actually, it's a good job of Dickerson on Fred Foggy turning into a defender. And he doesn't allow Foggy to make that interception, knocks it away.
There's Paul McCallum in the game.
Remember, he hit that 46-yarder earlier. This is going to be a 50-yarder, which would be 4 points. The last time he kicked it, that 46-yarder, he had about 15 to 20 yards on it.
He has never kicked one from this far in this league. So 4 points becomes pretty big when you think about it being an 8-point game right now.
Well, this would be 2 touchdowns instead of a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Willie Tate, the tight end, will hold for Paul McCallum from the CFL, and he's got the angle. Does he have the distance? That's 4 points on a 50-yard field goal by Paul McCallum. (32-20), the Scottish Claymores in World Bowl '96. McCallum has just kicked a 4-point, 50-yard field goal to the sideline in Bill Moss.
You know, Kevin and Matt, they said, we talked to James Williams, they said special teams was going to play a big factor in today's games, and so far it has. 2 fumbles on kickoff that have turned into touchdowns, and then Paul McCallum with a 4-yard field goal. Back up to you guys.
And one of the leaders of those special teams, Ben Torriero, 44, the captain of the special team.
He painted his face.
Paints his face in the colors of the country. Runs down like a maniac.
He thought about wearing a kilt for the game.
Well, he wore one this morning. Couldn't wear it in the uniform, though.
Gavin Hastings will kick off. And it will go a little bit short, and it's bobbled. And finally picked up by Bailey, who's down at the 17. And there again come the special teams into play.
You mentioned about Torriero, about him wearing a kilt. Now, he was here at the beginning of the game, and he had that kilt on. So I went over to him, and I asked him, Ben, what the heck do you wear under your kilt? He says, a smile, and nothing else.
First generation Scot, born here in Edinburgh, and the son of Italian parents, Torriero. First down and 10. Pelur's got his hands full, the former Cowboy and Chiefs quarterback. And they got movement on that line, and there go the flags, and they'll blow it dead with 9.5 minutes remaining, and the team with the ball, Frankfurt, down 32-20.
The guy who's fired up down there is that Joe O'Brien, number 9. He's working over Big George Hegeman.
Your guy.
Hey, old George, 350. O'Brien weighs about 265, 270. But I tell you, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, and that's what he is right there.
You should have used instead of Doug, the Scotty.
The Scott. There's the World Bowl trophy right there.
First down and 15 with the penalty, and Pallur across the middle. Wes Bender out of USC. Caught it at the 20 and spun to the 23. The former Kansas City Chiefs. Los Angeles, now Oakland Raiders. Wes Bender.
Tell you, Joe O'Brien came off the corner there and just went with a wicked club inside to Hegeman. Now, Hegeman's 350. You're going to watch him down the right side of your screen, number 95. Watch him. Going to come out. Here comes the club inside. Hegeman at 350 doesn't blink. But O'Brien has the presence to work back outside.
Second down and 7. Pallur on the money. He's got the first down reception to Mario Bailey. 5'9" wide receiver out of Washington. Little urgency now on the part of Frankfurt, getting up to the line quickly and trying to get that ball.
This time O'Brien's going to try to work back outside, try to get to the corner of Hegeman where he's had problems. You start the first time, you start inside, now you work back outside, make him work his feet. Hegeman wins the battle.
Flag thrown on that 1st and 10 call by Pallur.
You're able to see how many offense being used here already.
You can see with almost 9 minutes left to go.
Illegal snap, number 62, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Toby Mills, number 62, who has started every game he has ever played in the World League, is guilty of the illegal snap.
What the heck is an illegal snap?
I was looking at you, and
never had one of them.
I see you're as much a Dummkopf as me.
Multilingual here in the world.
1st and 15. Back to the 28, and Pallur from the shotgun, and he's got Kearney, who waited on the ball and was brought down after a gain of 3.
Pallur, yeah, let's take a look at what an illegal snap really is. I mean, it's maybe one of those okey-dokes where you start once and then you stop. Watch Toby Mills. See, he snapped once and then pulled it back. That's what he did. See, he gave it the old okey-doke. He gave him once, tried to get somebody, put it back.
What is that in Scottish, the okey-doke?
It's okay with me, lad. Sets up second and about 9.
From the 34. Once again, Pallur's in the gun. The blitz is not on. The quick handoff goes to Seibert, the national player from Munich, and he bangs for 3 to the 37. The clock about the halfway point of this 4th quarter, and the team with the ball, the Frankfurt Galaxy, trailing 32-20.
Remember, that 4-point field goal turned this into a 2-touchdown game. They were running man under, 2 deep. And what you do is you try to let your defender get on top of you. This time he cuts back underneath the Fuller. Fuller does a nice job of recovering and coming back and getting his hand in there. That's good defense.
Fury, who punched the ball and was injured earlier in the game, gets off a punt to Marcus Thomas of Scotland, who takes it from the 20, and then he's up by the 25 and finally brought down at the 27-yard line. 43-yard punt, 7-yard return, 32-20. Scotland leading by 12. Ernie Stautner, the Frankfurt coach, to talk with his offensive lineman. Time is running out, and that offense has got to start producing.
What you all got to do, though, you all got to get back and up fast. Our time is too short. Our time is too short. It has to be.
You heard Ernie Stautner talking to that offensive line. First of all, the clock starts as soon as the play's over. So the offensive line, you really got to get up there. Even if you go with your hurry-up offense, the quarterback still has to see what he's got.
Hurry it up. You all got to get up the line fast. We don't have enough time left to go through. All right?
Get up to the line of scrimmage as fast as you can. You have to give your quarterback time to make the call. And if you're just kind of lollygagging around, it's not going to happen as you look at the World Bowl trophy.
Galaxy won last year 26-22 over Amsterdam, and they're defending it today against arguably the best overall team in the league, the Scottish Claymores.
Well, last year, Paul Justin won it,
right,
and also won himself a spot with the Indianapolis Colts, and they like him.
This league has produced NFL caliber players. Jim Kreiner, a world-renowned fly fisherman who left football, in fact, for a good part of 6 different seasons to go and run a shop up in Montana, selling bait, selling equipment. He has sold success on the Scotland team. They've got it first down and 10 from the 28-yard line, and Ballard, who's had a big day, going deep once again. And the catch is not made.
That was out of bounds, but Yo Murphy pulled that one out again. That's a great catch.
Incomplete, out of bounds, second down and 10.
Now, I don't know what his shortcomings are. I mean, I don't know what Yo Murphy, can he not run? Does he not run good run? I don't know, because I haven't really had a chance to study him. But when it comes to catching the ball and going up and making the catch, look, this stuff you don't teach. See that? That's concentration. He came down out of bounds. That's a great effort.
Second down and 10. Siran Stacy, his flags go down, and he moves a pile, he does. Stacy past the 35, and he's out to the 36-yard line.
That looked like a scrum right there.
Which this field is used for. This is a rugby field, not used for soccer, track and field and rugby, and they have converted it to the NFL-sized field for today.
It's a beautiful field. Stadium is nice. This is going to be offsides on Frankfurt's defense. They're going to have to make a decision, either go 2nd and 5 or 3rd and 2.
Some discussion going on. American football, you can
it looks like Jim Kreiner is going to take the 2nd and 5, which is the good move.
Defense, number 59, 5-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
5:54, fourth quarter, World Bowl 96. Scotland looking for their first title. They lead by 12. Frankfurt won it last year. Frankfurt became just the first team to make 2 appearances in this World Bowl game, winning it last year and appearing as a participant this year. 2nd and 5, and Stacy slants to the 35. 2 yards shy of the first down. That's an outfit. That's a get-up right there.
That's a get-up and go. You get up like that. You know, at one point this morning, that guy looked in the mirror and said, "There, I'm done. Looks good." What's that?
How does he know when he's done?
That's what I say. How do you know you look good? What the heck?
Do you look at your wife? Say, honey, what do you think? Third down and about 2.5 to 3. Stacy outside, needs to get to the 37 and is way short of that. Doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage.
Nice play there by Woolfolk. Woolfolk worked upfield, turned everything back inside, and then everybody came in and made the tackle.
Jason Buck, who played on a Redskins Super Bowl championship team with you.
Yes, he did. And he's gotten out of football. Has his 650-acre farm down in Utah.
4 kids.
He got his kids. Said he got a call. Thought it was some of his ranch hands messing with him, so he hung the phone up.
McCallum's punt is short and covered well and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 4:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. 32 to 20, Scotland by 12. That was a 30-yard punt. Now Pallura's got to produce because the time is
4.5 minutes.
Very, very short.
You need 2 scores. So you come down here, you can get your score here. You'd have to get the ball back again. If you score quick, you're okay. If you don't, if you take the time off the clock, you have to think about onside kick or anything like that. But at 4.5 minutes, you still have a lot of time.
George Michael will quickly check in with Beaver Gallery right after this first down play. First and 10, Frankfurt Galaxy at the 35.
Pallur has platoon 4 wide receivers, first down and 10, and now it becomes an urgent situation as Pallur will go deep, and he's looking for Harrell, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line.
That's a nice job by Harrell.
It was Gary Harrell.
That ball looked like it was going to be intercepted by Fuller. Morrell goes up there and knocks that thing down, make sure it doesn't get picked. That's good football by Harrell.
The American pronunciation is Harrell, but over here they call him Harrell, so we're kind of bouncing back and forth with the pronunciation. I guess when you're...
You know, in any language, though, he did a good job.
Yes, he did.
That was good football. There's Ray Wilsey, the defensive coordinator, playing mostly zone now. What he wants is for Pelluer to throw it underneath, and then you come up and make the tackle. That time they did throw it underneath, and they picked up the first.
Mario Bailey scrambles for the first down, picking up 11.
Bailey, in the beginning of the third quarter, was the entire offense, and since then, we haven't heard much about him.
Very quiet. Pelluer's been quiet. First and 10 from the 46, and once again, Pelluer operating out of the gun. And he's got Harrell, who is out of bounds at the 38 and picks up 16 yards.
Well, they're doing it the right way. And they're not using much of the clock. You're a little under 4 minutes. They're moving the ball down the field. They're using the sideline as their friend. Get out of bounds, stop that clock, just keep the ball moving.
17-yard pickup by Harrell.
At one point, Ray Wilsey is going to have to switch up his defense. They're playing pure zone and sitting back. And they're moving the ball down. Now, he's giving them a press look right now.
First and 10, Pelluer fields a bad snap, takes a whipping as he throws to the near side, and the pass is caught. That's Bellamy, first down, a gain of 11, and the clock continues to go at 3:40.
That's a nice throw. We talked about having to change things up. That time, Scotland came up, they went man under. Too deep. They pressed at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to disrupt the rhythm of Pelluer.
First and 10 from the 25. And Pelluer finds another wide receiver. He's at the 20, and he picks up Bellamy, who gains 6 yards.
Still in great shape. Clock is on their side.
And they've got 2 timeouts.
Now they're on the 20-yard line, 19-yard line. Now the field starts to shrink, and it starts to work against you. Defenses can be a little bit tighter in their coverage.
Second down, 3, Pelluer. He has him again. Kearney this time, and out of bounds. Wisely with the first down in tow to the 11 and a late flag, and another one.
Probably a, well, I won't say, but
may have gotten a face mask on him as he was taking him out of bounds.
That's what it looked like.
So you say the options decreased for the offense.
Well, not necessarily your options, but your field decreases. And what happens as the field shrinks, the coverage starts to tighten, and you can do less things in terms of vertical and everything else. The breaks get crisper. You can stay on your coverage a little bit longer. You can get jammed, and the ball has to come out quicker.
Ransky, the face man, number 42 in the defense, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Corey Duckett picks it up. You see him, he's out of Michigan State. And then Nevada Reno is where he ended up.
It's a first down on the 5-yard line. You could not have drawn this up any states. You know,
where's your
stuff just flows.
Where's that advocate? Scotland returns it. Scott Cooper brings it up. Scotland has been playing most of the game without Sean LaChapelle, the MVP of the league. Yo Murphy has made some great catches, but he's been banged up a bit and hasn't been playing in every series. He's not returning kicks anymore.
Well, and then as well as the game has gone from the first quarter on for Scotland, now is the whole game. Now you got 2:40 to go. You have to wear the clock down and move the ball.
And they'll be operating with all 3 of their timeouts. And the quick pass to the far side. Yo Murphy runs and gets the first down. Gains 13 yards to the 35. By the way, just named the game MVP of World Bowl 96.
Well, and he should have. I mean, he shows great presence right here. And he knows he's going to get hit. He makes the catch. He has the first down. So what does he do? Here's the quick hitch. Make the catch. Beat the first defender. Now watch at the end of this play. He knows he can go out of bounds, but he doesn't. So he goes down, takes a slide, forces Frankfurt to have to use the timeout.
Murphy with 7 catches, a World Bowl record 164 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Frankfurt has stopped the clock. They were going to let the clock run down, the Scottish Claymores were, trying to get to the 2-minute warning, but time remains, and Frankfurt has burned one of their timeouts.
Well, and Yo Murphy, you see the 7 catches and the 3 touchdowns. But I'll tell you, That one-handed catch in the end zone was just an awesome catch. It doesn't get much better than that. He's put on a clinic today.
Touchdowns today. Yo Murphy out of Idaho, a Canadian football, British Columbia Lions wide receiver. And he has opened some eyes, I'm sure, today in the NFL with his performance. That ball's batted down on that second down pass. It'll be third down, and right in the way was Bernard Carter.
And Bernard Carter got that hand up. Knocked that thing down. Ballard again was going to Murphy.
Carter is a allocated player for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, big third down. It's a big third down for Scotland as well as Frankfurt. 2 minutes to go.
Ernie Stautner has worked out this pretty well. He's out of timeouts, but he's going to get the ball back with some time if they don't convert. Flag was thrown on the 50, and it was in the secondary.
And Scotland's pointing at Frankfurt.
We have an illegal defense on the previous play. 5-yard penalty.
It's a big penalty.
It'll still be second down.
Oh, but forget the penalty is 5 yards, but it's still second down. They're calling an illegal defense.
What's the call? Hey, what's the call?
This is a national series, and the question now is, do they have the national defensive player out there?
What's the call?
The only thing an illegal defense would be if they blitzed 4 guys to a side.
What's the call?
Because you can only blitz so many players.
3 to a side.
What was an illegal defense? What was an illegal defense?
Don't you know they call that for the press box? We don't know.
The old press box call. They call it from the press box. You know, that's exactly what you don't want to hear.
You want an answer on the field.
Absolutely. Hey, you're going to make the call. Be responsible. Stand up for it. Don't say, hey, we don't know. It was from the press box.
Or how about, oh, I didn't see it. That wasn't my his. Back to me, coach.
Or with the old, it was his call, not mine.
Now you're right.
That's a big call.
Second down and 2.
Second down, 2 yards to go. You still have third down. You're going to waste what Ernie was working for, getting the timeout with the 2-minute warning.
Siran Stacy does not get the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. And the ball was blown dead. And Curtis Cotton can run from here to Frankfurt, and they're not going to call it a touchdown. So the 2-minute warning, it'll be 3rd down and a yard. The team with the ball, the Scottish Claymores, with a 32-27 lead over the Frankfurt Galaxy. 2-minute warning in Edinburgh, Scotland, with Matt Millen and Bill Moss, Kevin Harlan. World Bowl 96, and Scotland holding on to a 5-point lead. They have it 3rd down and 1.
I would not be a happy head coach with that explanation of the penalty.
They called an illegal defense, and Walt Coleman, who is an NFL referee, is the main man today. He came back and told Ernie Stautner that that was a call from the press box. It was not a call from the field.
And the illegal defenses are called from the press box, so he would not have any idea of why it would be. The only 2 I can think of was if it was a national series, there was no national player.
Or the blitz.
Or they brought 4 from one side.
Scotland has not been a very good 3rd down team today. 4 for 12. They've got to get to the 45. They're inside the 44. Ballard rolls out of the pocket, gets a great block from Dickerson, hit as he throws, and the pass is
incomplete.
Incomplete at the 41-yard line. They were going to Yo Murphy.
What a gutsy call that was.
They only needed a yard.
Well, you're going to try to cross him up. They're going to try with play action. They went with the roll. Cavallo makes the play. He forces them to pull up. Murphy had beaten them, but then Johnny Dixon got the arm in there, and Murphy could not come back and make the play.
Now the punt comes from Paul McCallum, who's been busy most of the day, and they'll be punting to Gary Harrell of the New York Giants. Calls for the fair catch, stopping the clock at 1:45 as he goes to a knee. And he's down at the 27-yard line.
Well,
1:45 remaining in the game.
They have to score the 6 points. Remember, we talked, had they gone for 2, they would have had 28 and a 4-point field goal.
And this is what you want. This is what you want. You want the game to come down to one series, and that's what it's going to come down to. As you can see, our game summary, Joe Murphy has already been voted the MVP. The wide receiver from the Scotland team has had 3 touchdowns today and 7 receptions. First down and 10. On the 27, Pallure in the gun. He sends Harrell in motion. 4 receivers for Pallure. On 1st and 10 to the sideline, and he's got the receiver, Bailey. Stops the clock, gets the ball to keep the clock going. To the 38-yard line, we're down to 133.
Well, defensively, what you have to do right now, you can't let them get out of bounds. You can make them have the catch, that's fine. They have to score 6. Keep things in front of you. Defend the perimeter. Don't let them get out of bounds.
1st and 10 from the 38. Pallure again with the 4 wide receivers, and he throws a completed pass. It's not good for a first down. He picks up 6 on the play as Mario Bailey picks it up again.
And the other thing you have to do is you kind of have to lay on that receiver a little bit. Get up a little bit slow. Take off as much time of the clock as you can.
2nd down and 4. Pallure to Bailey. Over his head. Incomplete. Clock stopped at 59 seconds.
That's a good play by Pallure. Just get rid of that ball. If you're not going to be tackled out of bounds, just throw it away. It's 3rd down, but this is 4th down time of the game. It doesn't matter.
Third down. Pallure again with the shotgun formation. A flag is thrown. The clock is
they blew
55 seconds.
Yeah, they blew that thing dead, which means it'll be an offensive penalty.
False start prior to the snap on the 65. 5-yard penalty. Key 3rd down.
Penalty makes it 3rd and 9.
Whatever happens in this tie,
Still have 2 downs for the first. It's more important to keep them in bounds and keep the clock running.
Frankfurt, by the way, just picked up their 10th penalty of the game. Going to put some more time on the clock, which now shows 55 seconds. And they'll put 58 on the clock. Frankfurt trailing 32-27. They've got the ball. They've got it 3rd and 9. They've got to get to the 48. Pallure, good time. Has Bailey, has the first down if the
they're keeping the clock running.
Clock goes. They get to the 48. They have not signaled a first down yet.
And it's not a first down.
They have not given them a first down.
And about a foot.
About the length of the football. Clock at 33 seconds and a bad snap to Pallure. And then it was picked up by the running back. And that was Seibert who gets the first down.
Boy, that was a heads-up play.
No timeouts for Frankfurt. And
they're stopping the clock for what reason?
At 19 seconds, they're stopping the clock, and now the referees will confer. And
we have a 4th down fumble. 1st down.
We had a what?
He called a fumble on Frankfurt.
On Seibert at the end? They must have called it on Seibert.
Ingo Seibert carried the ball on a snap to Pallure that was muffed.
The ball is snapped before Pallure's ready. Seibert picks it up He's not down. Keep going. Ball's fine. Now he's hit. If they're... You can't call him down by that knee. That's a live ball. You just keep on going. I'm not understanding what I'm seeing here.
So he gets the fumble on a knee and he's down.
No, that shouldn't be.
But that's what they're saying because they're moving the ball where the knee went down at the 40-yard line.
And I'm not going to say a single thing until we've played that down of football, but you know what we're thinking upstairs. Wait a second, there's no point in playing any music.
If it's a fumble, unless they're not calling it a fumble, it doesn't matter if it be a forward lateral. It's just like taking the snap. And that ball should be able to be advanced. Can't advance a fumble the last 2 minutes of the game. That would be, that's the old Raider rule. That goes back, that's the Dave Casper rule.
When he kicked the ball ahead.
That's right. But I never saw it applied like that.
That's the
Once
game.
you fumble the ball, you have to recover the ball. Now they're saying that a bad snap is a fumble, and that's what I would dispute.
Pelluer was under center. The ball goes through his leg.
Right.
Seibert is in the backfield, gets the ball. When he gets the loose ball, he goes down on a knee.
They're saying that that was a fumble. And if it is a fumble at the end of the game, then this guy who fumbled it has to also recover it. They're saying Pelluer fumbled it, but he never had the ball. They're saying that a bad snap is the fumble.
Under 2 minutes, you can't advance the fumble.
Right, that's the Dave Casper Raider rule.